once you get killed, no blood should be spilled. Charlie shouldn't have died. Well, you can't hate the gun and love the gun that shot your rival. You can't be kind and wish hate upon a child. Everybody's gotta say what they're needing to say. As soon as they're needing to say it, the freedom to speak, to be free, and the freedom to say you hate it, and have a big old conversation. I heard laughing, I heard glee, but it could have been you, it could have been me. Out in the bloodshed, everyone loses. There's unforgettable scars. Out in the bloodshed, permanent bruises. Shapes up who you are. Children let the wonder America, aimless with the firebrand of sin. Wondering who it is took my dad, with the destiny of revenge. Out in the bloodshed, the cycle begins. And everyone dies, you spin the wheel. If you don't get killed, you'll wind up dead inside. I heard laughing, I heard glee, but it could have been you, it could have been me.
Good morning, Gearheads. It's Sunday. That means it's time for the Blind Mike Project. Go to blindmike.net for all of Blind Mike's links to Patreon, the podcast, and shows like Why Are You Laughing? On today's show, Mike and Kragers take questions from the Gearheads. Also covering Charlie Kirk and Royce from ROTC and more. And now, here's your host, the menace from Central Mass, Blind Mike Geary.
Hey. Craig and I coming off of a phenomenal Quincy performance last night.
Yes, what a great time that was.
It was a lovely evening. I am bummed now realizing. So are like all the Quincy's we did that way just like gone forever? You don't have them?
I'll have to look back. I don't know. I thought the links stayed like YouTube links.
Craig has been surreptitiously deleting old episodes. He's been taking them for himself. So on this Patreon, Craig has destroyed my life's work, quite frankly. It's what he's been doing. Everything we've watched on Patreon has just been deleted. Craig has had a good laugh at that while we slowly notice.
Oh, no, it's just the drinking games that would have been the problem, I think.
No, I think it's everything we've done on StreamYard like that.
Maybe this last season. There's like 4 solid seasons completely up there for sure.
This is what Craig does. Is he'll slowly admit to like, maybe it's like 600 episodes we've done.
I'm wondering because I mean you only have so much storage on StreamYard, so I wonder if I delete it gets rid of the live stream, but that shouldn't be the case, is what I'm saying.
Do we have? If you delete them off StreamYard, they're just gone forever.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, folks. Hey, subscribe to Patreon, watch live, and that's when you get it. It could be gone the next day. We don't know, but I'm sure that's well worth your subscription. We appreciate you supporting us for all this time.
Season 3 through 7 is for sure on Patreon.
Yeah, maybe. Until we look and it's not. We'll see. But yeah, we did that last night, and that was a great deal of fun. Part 1 of the wedding episode, I think, was much better. And as the great Chef Lewis pointed out, I think we did learn why there was no live show last night. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it just can't. It's the unfortunate thing is it wasn't supposed to be the last season of Quincy, so it's nothing worth celebrating, really. But we have fun.
That's right. I miss it already.
All right. Well, we will get more into that stuff in a second. Also, today we will be talking to my friend Royce Lopez of Revenge of the Sith. Their Patreon got taken down. So he's going to tell us how you can support those guys because I don't know what happened. I'm curious to talk to him because all I know is I saw them saying that Patreon pointed to hate speech. Now, I will say, I'm sure they did something wrong. You know, Patreon, if you're listening, they're bad guys. I don't support it. And we don't do anything that should get our stuff taken down. I just want that on record. But we'll get to the bottom of whatever is going on with the Revenge of the Sith guys, and we'll talk to Royce in a little bit. But first, I did want to talk about something. This is not a usual Blind Mike Project topic, but it's something I've been thinking about a lot this week, as you see in the title. I wanted to talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, because this is not my general wheelhouse. I don't want to get on a soapbox about it. You're not going to see me weep or pretend that Charlie Kirk meant a lot to me. But he ultimately, what he represents does mean a lot to me. And I think that's why I was spending so much time thinking about it. And I owe a lot of people that watch this show, I think, an apology. Because if you go back to the early days of this program, and even before when I was just on Kirk's show, or no one falls into this category, but if you read blogs I wrote years ago and things like that, you would know that I'm a big, I was a big fighter of cancel culture. That was an issue I did and do care very, very deeply about. And I'm amazed more podcasters and radio people and people in the media, I'm amazed that divides political lines. I've never understood why that was something that became like a right versus left issue. I think if you talk for a living, you should be against Daniel Tosh having to apologize for a joke, or Shane Gillis getting fired from SNL, or people going after Tony Hinchcliffe or Gilbert Gottfried or Anthony Cumia, or the man versus food guy for old tweets, or James Gunn, or these countless things over the years. And I got away from that for a while because I wasn't having as much fun with it. There's a couple of reasons I got away from it. Mainly because I wasn't having as much fun with it. I thought I was getting too angry about it and repeating myself a lot, to the point where I was even seeing comments where people were like, all right, Mike, we got it. And I was being defined by people that don't know me that well. I remember KFC from Barstool describing me as a guy that is always looking for cancel culture topics to bitch about. And I was surprised by that. I was surprised when people that don't know me that well summarized me that way. It was kind of surprising when that first happened. But the other reason I got away from it, and this is what I want to semi-apologize for in a way, is that I started to say a lot that we had turned a corner. Like, I thought this was a Cold War for now. When you see things like Shane Gillis, I always point to Shane as a big turning point, where I felt like when he hosted SNL, that was kind of the industry apologizing for what they did to him. And to me, you started to see more, Netflix wasn't removing Chappelle's special, even though they were protested, and Kill Tony got a deal even after the Trump rally stuff. And so I would say a lot that we had turned a corner, and people would argue with me. And a lot of these people don't know my feelings on it, where they would say, well, Mike doesn't understand the long-lasting repercussions that this sort of cancel culture could have. Meaning, their point being like, hey, when you go after someone like this in the manner that they did, try to take away their job, protest them, whatever, that it will cause the next guy not even to attempt that material. And people would say that to me. That's why I say, people that didn't follow me that long didn't know that I was saying that till I was blue in the face. If you go back and watch old episodes of the show or anything else I did, that's a mantra I would repeat over and over again. And I got away from that. And I wrongly forgot how important that was to preach, I think. And we got to a place in this country where people would say, well, who's really been canceled? And, you know, they would point to guys I just mentioned, like Gillis or Hinchcliffe or whoever, or even like Louis C.K., and say, like, you know, these guys are doing better than ever now. Not realizing the effect it has on their lives, on their families' lives, people attacking them, whatever. And these were debates I would get in that I started to get sick of. Now we have, unfortunately, the greatest example of who has actually been canceled. I hope the only example that we ever get like that, where a guy lost his life because he goes to college campuses and debates whether or not kids should get fucking hormone therapy. The guy lost his life for doing that, for having those conversations, for saying he doesn't believe in abortion. That's why a man was shot, and people celebrated that. So if you want to know what cancel culture is, it's exactly that. It's this idea that we want to ruin you. And you see it in different ways, even still. And this is where I'm saying I was wrong to get away from this, because even something as silly as the lady at the Phillies game a few weeks ago, where she was a bitch and took a baseball from a kid or something like that, and America's instinct is to ruin her life. And that's the instinct I'm talking about when I say cancel culture. For me, it was never a political issue. And I think I got nervous or uncomfortable with the idea that me talking about cancel culture would lump me into some political box. I didn't like that people felt that means I voted one way or another, or that I felt this way about other issues because I would talk about cancel culture. And that's sort of a pussy move of me to be worried about that, to be worried about what other people think of me. But we do live in a society now where, based on what you think, you could get shot in the streets. You could get shot in front of a crowd of people that are there to talk to you about your opinions. You can get shot for those same opinions that they all showed up to hear or debate or discuss. And that's what was really gross to me about last week with the Charlie Kirk thing. I knew very little about Charlie Kirk a week ago. I knew he was a right-wing influencer that would go to these colleges to debate people. And I got to tell you, based on the media portrayal of him, I would have thought he was a much more evil guy than or much angrier guy than we know him to be now. What they wanted to do is paint him as a villain after he died and go, look at all these things he said about trans people. Look at these things he said about blacks. Look at these things he said about abortion, which is a disgusting tactic to say, well, this is why he should have died. That was gross to me, that I started seeing videos like that. But then when I started watching them, it was far scarier than I ever could have imagined, because I watched the videos and I go, oh, Charlie Kirk was a relatively level-headed guy. He was not some of these guys I talk about. Like, I've made fun of Nick Fuentes before, and I was actually happy to see Nick Fuentes at a pretty reasonable response to all of this, because they tried to lump him and his fans into this whole mess. But there are people that are extremists, and I don't know if Fuentes is one of those guys, but I know like Gavin McGinnis is a provocateur, or Milo Yiannopoulos. Like, they don't even necessarily believe all the things they say. They're trying to get a reaction out of people. The videos I watch of Charlie Kirk are not that at all. He thinks that life starts at conception, which listen, my thought on abortion is different than Charlie Kirk's, but he didn't have an unreasonable take, and it would be hard for me to argue against him, given the point of view he has. I think that's a pretty reasonable take that he has on that. And you can chop up videos of him talking about black people or whatever to make it seem like he's this nut. Even if you want to take those on face value, if you want to pretend you don't have a brain and you can't decipher what he's actually saying in those videos, even if you want to take those, there's no video you can show me where you're going to get me to believe that he should have died last week because of his opinion on race or abortion or guns. And to the people that say, like, show videos, I just retweeted a Jack Mack video. I didn't weigh in on this on Twitter. I don't think it does a lot of good. But I did retweet a Jack Mack video, and I started getting replies just from that, of people going, you don't know who this guy is. Oh my God. And the worst are the people, I almost applaud the people more that own it at, TMZ, that are laughing gleefully at TMZ and that you see on TikTok and all these other outlets. I almost respect them more, however little that still is. I almost respect them more than the people like Stephen Colbert who get on their show and give this fake statement of, hey, political violence is never good, no matter what it is. Because they always couch it with, hey, I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk. Do you need to say that on the day he's assassinated? That he's shot for his beliefs? Do you need to say that you don't agree with him? Should that even be mentioned? And that's what's terrifying about this. I thought Bill Maher had a very good quote where he said, people talk about this being a left versus right issue. I think it's getting to be the people who want a war versus the people that don't. And people like me that don't give a fuck what your opinion on abortion is or race or DEI or any of that bullshit. I don't care what you think about it. I think we live in a country where Charlie Kirk can, no matter what, have his wife or daughter or the women in his lives, he can convince them to carry a baby to term because he believes that's the right thing to do. And he lives in the same country that someone can also get an abortion if they want. I think that's terrific. I don't know why you need to convince someone so desperately that you are right about that issue to the point where you work yourself up into homicidal rage. That is a problem with the internet that I think we have taken, we've been far too relaxed on. This idea that people that get mad on the internet, mad on Twitter or YouTube comments or whatever, this idea that those people don't exist, we're now seeing isn't true. There are people that think they live in a fucking video game and that life doesn't matter. And this 22-year-old fucking maniac doesn't understand the consequences of his life. And the idea that we rushed, like Craig is very excited that the guy's girlfriend's a tranny. Everyone gets very excited for that. And other people were excited that his parents were Republican. Like that matters at all. What was obvious the moment Charlie Kirk died, whether it was a Nick Fuentes supporter or some crazy liberal or whatever, what was very obvious is that a man got shot in the neck because of what he was saying and what the beliefs are in his head. And that should be horrifying to everyone that has an opinion on any matter. Like, it might be silly of a podcaster like me to be worried about that when I cover Stuttering John from the Howard Stern show. You might think it's crazy and delusional of me to be worried about that. But the reason I get worried about it is because I look at a guy like John and like Aaron and like other people on the internet that when they get their feelings hurt, their instinct is to give out people's last names and their addresses and where they work. Now, I don't know why you would do that unless you're saying, I want something bad to happen to them. So for all these people that are like, how can someone in society do this? Well, how about it's all the litany of compilations that call Trump a Nazi and these people need to be stopped, stop them at any cost. Republicans are all correct to point those out because for the last 10 years, it has been a discussion of we need to stop these people by any means necessary, culminating with other people on the internet being so thirsty for revenge, where you do give out people's last names and their addresses and all this personal information. And the only reason you want to do that is because people want violence. And I think we're in a place because of the internet that people don't understand the consequences of their actions. And it's scary, even to someone who lives in a silly internet world like myself. I think if you're someone, the people that laughed at Charlie Kirk dying, that's obvious. They're scumbags. Fuck them. But I even think if you're someone that when the Charlie Kirk conversation comes up and you go, well, he was a racist. Well, he was a misogynist, whatever. First of all, you don't fucking know the guy. Watch the video of his wife talking about what an amazing husband he was. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what women in his life think of him, I don't give a fuck what a stranger on TikTok thought of the guy. So I want those people to know that Charlie Kirk is a hero now. And not even necessarily because of anything he did, other than him living his life and the way he died. And people like you that hate him and are trying to make him into the villain, you're making him a hero. Because to me, what he will always represent is a guy that had his opinion. He wasn't afraid to talk about it and try and change other people's minds and let those same people change his mind. I'm sure Charlie had his heels dug in on a lot of these issues, but if someone showed up and came up with the right assembly of words to change his mind, maybe he would have gone, I never thought of it that way. So it was really sickening to me. And the other thing that bothers me, and the reason I wanted to talk about it today, is because I know it's going to be an issue, and I'll be guilty of this at some point as well, where much like the Trump shooting, much like Jeffrey Epstein, much like any of these things, in a couple days we'll stop giving that much of a fuck about it. I'm sure people already have in some circles. So I wanted to talk about it today at the very least. And I do want to make more of an effort when some of these stories come up, because the idea that cancel culture is dead in any way is clearly silly. It is at an all-time terrifying point because a guy just lost his life for giving his opinions. There's no other way you can spin it to me, no matter how hateful he is. And there's plenty of videos online already where people are like, well, he was a bad guy. Did he ever threaten anyone's life? Did he ever harm anyone physically? All Charlie Kirk is guilty of, at worst, is having bad opinions. And he lost his life for that. And his kids had to watch that. His wife had to watch it. There is a video online that will be there forever. You can try, Twitter and Google and all these outlets can try and delete it. It's there for people to watch. I think I'm lucky in the sense that I can't see it. But everyone I've heard from it shook them. The idea that you were able to see that. Now, there's all sorts of conspiracy theories that people throw out. I don't know anything about Tyler Robinson. I don't know anything about what involvement Israel could have had or anything like that. But what I do know is, at the very least, if this is some sort of conspiracy, the American public have put themselves in a position to be used like this. The reason any conspiracy exists is because morons will work themselves up into such a tizzy where people are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. And they were able to manipulate society because of that. So even if it's a conspiracy, you're a moron for letting yourself get into that position. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I wanted to say about it. It's something I thought about all week. Like I said, it's not my usual wheelhouse. I'm sure I did a poor job at articulating my thoughts, but I wanted to get that off my chest and talk about it because I think it's an important thing to talk about. And it's an issue I've been passionate about for a long time, and I kind of let myself get complacent on it, and that really jarred me awake. So now we'll have Craig on to tell us why the trans are responsible for this. Go ahead.
Well, when you suck that sweet, sweet tranny dick, it just makes you do anything they say.
Craig was so excited last night. He's dating a tranny. I was like, settle down. We'll get to it tomorrow.
We turned a lot of rocks over to find the evidence, but we ended up coming across.
We got there.
we got there. Yeah, dude. That was pretty well said. I don't know what else to add to it, really, besides you are correct. It was one of the grossest videos I've ever seen. Like I thought it was AI.
Well, the reaction was grosser to me because of that. Like the idea that you could watch a guy's fucking neck get blown out and go, well, he did have this thought on abortion. That's fucking, it's sickening that people reacted like that. And I don't know. I just had to get it off my chest, I guess.
Yeah. Like this, I felt nauseous. It was gruesome, but like,
yeah.
The worst thought, like you said, is like, his kids are gonna see their dad get shot in the neck.
Yeah.
There's no avoiding it.
And the worst, and I know, Craig, believe me, I'm one of you guys now. I don't have my MAGA hat. It's coming in the mail. I don't have it yet. I would have worn it today.
Yeah.
But what this could lead to, I'm not saying it will. And I know the trannies are responsible for every gun death. Believe you me. But what this could lead to is someone doing it on the other side. You know what I mean? And it just gets so
Not gonna happen.
like we're devolving into a place like that. I hope it doesn't.
It won't.
But that's the scary thing about it.
It won't. What you might see is someone from the left shooting one of their own, claiming to be on the right to do that. But you're not going to actually see someone from the right do that. They're not that stupid.
Well, good. I appreciate you guys keeping us safe.
Royce will have my back.
I don't know. Do we bring this shock jock on now?
Yeah, you might get us deplatformed.
I'm afraid now. He's a bad boy. I don't.
Yes. Oh my god.
I don't want to know what he thinks about my rant. I'm not usually.
You know what the worst part about the Charlie Kirk shooting is?
Yeah.
The hypocrisy.
Well, at least he wasn't a hypocrite.
At least he wasn't a hypocrite. No, man. Listen, first off, yeah. Listen. Here's how you know. Let me be very clear. Listen about me. It's like ever listen to my show, like I beat up both sides pretty hard. So like it's not like I'm not like Mr. Oh yeah, Lindsey Graham is an American hero for sucking dick. I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit. That's not me. If you follow me, I'm more about being funny anyway. But I will say this. Here's how you know that you don't have to really worry so much about a right winger doing something. After they killed Charlie Kirk, they didn't have to board up an entire city. Like, you know what I mean? Like an entire city didn't burn to the fucking ground. People are like, hey, that's sad. You should be fired from Home Depot for yelling at his wife because she just lost her husband. That's how the right reacted. No one's going like, you know what we need to do? I need some laptops and some Nikes. Let's burn down Minneapolis. Okay. Right. Well, that's all right, cool.
That'd be like if he got shot and we were all like, we need to go to Foot Locker right now.
Yeah, we do right now. No, but hey, listen, to be fair, Jordans are getting expensive. I understand why they riot. I mean, that doesn't make sense, you know?
Yes.
Hey, look, at least you guys are allowed to say what you want on your Patreon. I apparently am not. So
well, I don't know if you heard the start of the show, Royce, but I made sure Patreon knows that this is a guy I don't like him. He's crazy. He doesn't represent me.
Maniac. I don't know, dude. I've been on Patreon for like 8 years, right?
Yeah.
And then we kind of took a little break for a couple of years because Rumble gave us that contract and we moved pretty much everybody over to Locals, and Locals is still our biggest source of income, but Patreon helped because there are people that didn't want to use Locals. There's a lot of people that have Patreon accounts. I get it. But what I did not know, and I guess I should have known better, was at first I thought like, oh, somebody reported me. Like, and I'm like, well, when patrons report me, like, someone's pissed, they sign up, they try to report you. But then I'm finding out they don't report you. And you guys be careful, because here's what I learned. Every once in a while, they randomly run an AI through your account. And even if your unlisted video is on YouTube or on Rumble or whatever, because ours was on Rumble, they run through it and they see if you fall. And this is how I know, because it was just our last 2 episodes. And it was because, I know we're on YouTube, so I know how to say it. It was because of self-harm. Okay. Because apparently, telling someone to Minecraft themselves as a joke, literally was a joke. Obviously, like you tell your buddy, that obviously is a problem. But also, they brought up that we were like being racist or whatever, because obviously the jokes we make.
Oh, God. Craig, delete all the videos.
Yeah, that's my point, dude. That's the part that I didn't. That was really. I'm like, wait a second. Then all our videos are gone then, because we make jokes all the time, And the whole point of having a paywall, and I'm sure you agree, is like, oh, we can kind of say whatever the fuck we want. We don't have to worry that much about, we're not gonna get popped for saying something, and you could like, say words you wouldn't normally say, and. Yeah. And obviously, I'm not reading Mein Kampf or anything, but I'll call someone an F slur, whatever, like, because it's funny, and not because they're gay, but because they're being one. Yeah. Sure. And I think retard is safe again. You're allowed to say retard again. Yeah. But like, but Patreon, what I found out, and this is the craziest part to me, has a stronger terms of service than YouTube now. And YouTube used to be like the worst, right?
Right.
But we were kicked off of YouTube for 2 years. Okay. 2 years. And the last video, and I even have a screenshot of it because I laugh at I think I'm going to put it up on my wall in the studio. was the last video that kicked us off. Was we were cyberbullying Jeffrey Epstein, and it was after he died. It was after he died, dude.
Well, the man had been through enough by that point. Royce.
I know. And I go, and it was a 12-minute clip, and I go, well, let me check. Maybe we did something like, who knows? Maybe somebody dropped the word. No, I listened to the whole thing, and it was basically us going like, can you believe what this guy was doing to kids on islands? Oh, I can't believe it, bro. I'm glad he didn't kill himself. That was the whole episode, and it was just like, oh, hey, you leave Jeffrey Epstein alone, not on my fucking watch. And I'm like, all right, my bad. So we lost it for 2 years, and then 2 years ago, when Alex Rosen, who's our friend, I love Alex Rosen, he's our friend, Predator Poachers, got his channel back, I was like, look, if they give him his channel back, let me give this a shot. So I went into an email from 2023 and hit like appeal. And then the next morning I woke up, it's like, congratulations. And I'm like, what? Are you fucking serious? And they removed all my strikes. My channel is completely clean now. And then I go to Patreon, the place that's supposed to be safer. Now, here's something that's funny. I'll tell you guys, it's really funny about this Patreon situation. I've been podcasting since like 2006 is when I started, like talking about back in the day when you had to buy like used band equipment and FireWire to be able to do this shit. So, but back, I interviewed in 2013, April 2013, I interviewed Jack Conte, the founder of Patreon. Now, I interviewed him on my show, not because of Patreon, but because it was his band, right? Like I liked this band that he was in. And I had no idea at the time. And he comes on, he goes, hey man, you mind if I like just plug this little thing? I swear to God, dude, this is in the interview. You mind if I plug this little thing I'm working on? I'm like, yeah, sure. What is it, man? He's like, it's this thing called Patreon. And you know how it works is it lets users like connect. Like he pitched Patreon to us. So I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome, man. I'll make an account. And I go, so I literally helped plug it. And then it's like, now fucking 8 years later, it's like, oh man,
Royce is the Steve Wozniak of Patreon.
Yeah, basically. No,
can't get into his account now.
Absolutely. I bet so that's where I'm at. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, I thought it was like we did something egregious, but it was just general stuff that we would say unpaywalled on YouTube would have gotten us in trouble. And you talk about the Charlie Kirk video. It just so happened that the same day that we lost our Patreon, Charlie Kirk died, so obviously that overshadowed us. It hurts my feelings a little bit.
Barely,
like,
just barely.
It's like, come on, dude.
They were 1 and 2 trending, I think.
Yeah, seriously. And I'm like, great. But on the upside, you know, I was even saying when we did, because we did the episode on locals, because that was a paywall day. I was like, well, thank God. I go, if we didn't lose our Patreon, we would have lost it today because we played the video. You know, obviously.
Right.
And can't play that on YouTube. Not that anymore. It'll get popped, but we could play it behind our paywall and we play the video. And
yeah,
you know, and to be honest, man, it's been really fucking cool because like we had like almost like maybe about 300 patrons, and the rest of our people are on locals. And we were doing the math, and I'm like, fuck, man, we gotta make up these people. And I was like, I put a goal. It's like, okay, we need 2,000 locals people by then. That'll be 300 people, and we'll be completely evened out. And I'm like, we'll give us until October, bro. We're like 20 away already. Everyone moved over.
Oh, nice.
So it's been really cool. And even though I've had my issues with the Rumble, locals is pretty nice, and it's a little bit better than Patreon, mostly because you keep more of your money, and that's cool.
Okay. What's the easiest way for people to find your locals?
revengeofthesys.locals.com. I mean, it's Revenge of the Sys. Or just go to locals and search over there. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. And honestly, I've been fucking kicked off of so many things so many times, and I used to get angry and like rage and be like, oh, these fuckers, I'm gonna kill them all. But now I woke up and I looked at it and I was on the toilet and I go, oh, that sucks. That was my reaction. I'm like, that sucks. Like, fuck. What do you do?
It's good that you have that perspective. That's what I was talking about at the beginning, where I used to get like passionate about these issues.
Yeah.
And you do that long enough and you're just like, I'm not changing anything. Like me tweeting, like, look at this story. Isn't this unbelievable? And you're talking to people that already agree with you, or people that never will agree with you. So you're like, what the fuck are you doing? You know?
Well, honestly, you know, going back to what you were saying, this is completely unrelated. But if you know any Patreon employees that were like saying bad stuff about Charlie Kirk, let me know. I'm just like really, you know, because I mean, I'm not a guy that wants people to be fired. Like, I've been even like when people do that, I hate that shit. Like, oh, get people fired. However, I have shifted on that a little bit. And what I mean is, here's how I'm at. I'm not actively going to get anybody fired, but I'm going to laugh really hard when somebody with pink hair and a septum piercing's like, can you believe it? I just called for his family to be assassinated and I can't work at fucking the lesbian bookstore anymore. I'm like, oh man.
Post pictures of his kids' names and addresses and like, what'd I do?
Hey, what's the big deal? Hey, I just said I want Charlie Kirk's wife to be killed, and I put her docs out. What's the problem? I thought this was America.
Royce saying that.
No, I'm saying that obviously sarcastically.
But they don't know that anymore. Royce, have you learned anything?
They know that it's not that they don't know that. You're pretending like it's people. You mean the robot that scans everything doesn't know?
Yeah, that's. So I saw that, and I wanted to at least have you on because I like you guys. Royce has had me on both Daywave and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
and I'm a fan of both you guys, you and Mersh.
Mersh is a piece of shit. Can you believe what an asshole that guy is?
Royce and I, Craig, I don't know if you know this. Royce and I, our wives are fighting. So
yeah,
so Royce and I have to look at each other like, do we have to fight now? What's going on here?
I haven't even talked about this. I haven't said anything, but I will make one comment that is fair because I'm always honest about this. And let me be very clear something about Mersh. Mersh can be very argumentative. He can be a firebrand. He can be a real dick. I will say this in this scenario, and I'm not even getting involved in this. I would just say this. This is a fact. Mersh has never said one bad word about Carl or who are these podcasts. Not ever behind the scenes, not passive aggressively. If anything, every time it's brought up, he's been like, no, those guys are fucking awesome. Carl fucking rules. Yeah. And that's always been his stance. So I will tell you this, and this isn't a bit. Mersh was genuinely confused. Like, why is he mad at me? Like, I'm just joking. I'm goofing at the event. And I've always brought this up as a great example. Like, I have done some stinker events, boys. I have gone to some things that have been bad. And people have been like, oh, that was kind of gay. My reaction was like, yeah, that was kind of gay, huh? Like, trust me. I did a bowling event, like the Ralph Ethan had a bowling event thing. And they ended up getting swatted. The cops showed up and all this, and everybody was making fun of it because you had Harrison Smith debating fucking Destiny in a bowling alley. And to be fair, while they were debating, me and Dick Masterson and Merce got bowling balls and just started bowling loud because why are you debating? What's going on?
I mean, this sounds great.
No, it was great because of how bad it was. But everyone's like, oh my God, what a shit show, this and that. I was just like, yeah, absolutely it was. Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, I don't even really get emotionally involved in stuff like that. Like, I go to stuff sometimes it's great. I go to stuff sometimes it's shit. I really don't care. And let me be clear, I don't got a problem with anybody over there. Like, I don't personally. I never have. And I was just actually shocked by it because it's funny. About a week ago, we were literally, there's a clip you could find that we were joking about, about Carl being mad at us over something stupid. And obviously it was so absurd that would ever happen. So I don't understand it. We did a live event. I thought it was great. We had a good time. Like, I honestly don't really understand, but I will say this, knowing Mersh, who trust me, I've known for many years, but we've done a show for many, many years. This is the chillest and most level-headed I've ever seen him handle a situation.
Yeah.
And it's been one of those where, and I'll tell you behind the scenes, this is not a bit. He's genuinely like, I do not know what I did. Like, I was goofing on an event. Like, we goof on everything. That's all of our shows. You, me, him, ours. Our entire ecosystem is to goof on stuff.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's why you said the thing about the live events. I think if you do a show like yours or mine or whoever, like, if an event is mockable and people start making fun of it, you have to handle it the way you did, because you can't sit here on a microphone and goof on everybody. Goof on John and Aaron and Brendan Schaub and Chris D'Elia and be like, hey, look at how few people were at the Fighter and the Kid live show. Ha, ha, ha. And then you're at an event that people are making fun of and go, why are you making fun of this? I don't get it.
I don't care. But I wouldn't get mad at that. And it's like, I don't know if you, Mike, I'm going to fucking blow your mind here, dude.
Yeah.
Some people make fun of me sometimes. I know. Hey,
I know. Even now that you jacked, that can't be true.
We're going to get them fired. We're getting them fired from their Home Depot jobs. Let's go.
Names.
Go, boys. We're taking them out. No, but I'm just like, I don't care. I think this is the silliest thing in the world. I don't understand why this is even happening. I was even like, because my first reaction, let me be clear. My first reaction is usually when I wake up is to go, what did Mersh do? But I actually,
in general,
But I had all the people that normally were going like, no, he actually didn't do anything. You're not going to believe it. And I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Then I listen and I go,
said
oh, he didn't do anything.
I was on Point with those guys.
Yeah.
And I was like half kidding, but I watched the clip and I was like, maybe there's something I'm missing. Like maybe there's something I didn't see. I don't know the full context, whatever. Yeah. And so when they were like, oh, what an asshole Mersh is, what I saw was Carl, and I'll tell him, I don't know if he wants to talk about it Thursday when I'm on with him or whatever, but like I'll tell him this. He said, not joking, he goes, well, Mersh is a fucking loser who doesn't know how life works. Like he was serious. And if I saw Carl say that about me, I would be like, what the fuck? No,
Mersh's reaction was like,
yeah,
ouch, I was just making fun of the event. Like, what?
Right. I didn't get that. Now, I think
which event was this?
It was Dabble Hotel. No. Content Hotel.
Content House.
Yeah, Content House.
I've heard. Okay.
So if I can defend Carl for a moment, I think what happened was because what's weird about the whole Mersh thing is like Carl has shit on the event. Like he said it was a shittily put together event. It stressed him out. It was poorly planned.
Here's a quote from Mersh. Mersh literally said, Carl, you're too good for this place. That isn't Mersh. I'm not kidding you.
That's the clip I saw. Yeah.
So it's like, how is that? That's a compliment. I would to go be like, yeah, I probably am, huh? Like I would. That to me would not. I would not be offended. I would not be offended by that. Would you be? Be honest, guys. Would you be offended by that if I go, Mike, man, you're too good for this place. What are you doing here, bro?
It gives you an out. You can go, yeah, this isn't my fault.
I was surprised because Carl was shitting on the event itself, and then was like, yeah, but why is Mersh being so sensitive about it? Carl seriously called Mersh a fucking loser who doesn't know how life works, saying that he's wrong about the event that Carl is shitting on. Now, if I can defend Carl, I think what happened, I haven't talked to him about this at all, other than what you saw when I was on air with him last week. But
hope he doesn't think I'm a loser.
No, who could, Royce? He's
a
nice body now.
I don't know. Like, I mean, up until a week ago, I'm not kidding you. I really like those guys. We had a great live. I had no clue that there was any resentment up until that moment.
I said, I thought you liked those guys and did an event with them. And Carl said, I like Royce. So you're in the clear, I think.
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, that's fine. I don't really care. Like, honestly, like this stuff, I don't, as you can see, like my content, I don't really get emotionally involved in any of this stuff. Like this stuff to me is, I goof. Look, man, I goof. And not only do I goof, people make fun of me all the time. I think it's funny. I think it's funny, dude. We here's the thing. All of us, even if whether this is your full-time job or you make any money doing this, I will say this. We are very fucking lucky to make even $1 doing this. Some people do make $0 their whole life being able to goof around and talk with their friends. So I would never, I'm not that guy who would get like, because I'm like, I smoke weed, right? Yeah. This is what I do. Why would I ever be angry? I smoke weed, right? Get on air, play funny videos, joke with my friends, and people go, hey, here's some money, man. Good show. I'm not going to be mad. So if you criticize something about me, people criticize shit all the time, be like, yeah, that's cool, but like I like what I do every day, so who gives a shit? Like, I don't care. And I'm very aware that when I make fun of these people like Stuttering John, and I haven't done that in a long time either, but and by the way, I want to point something else. I was like, I don't really care about this stuff, but it's like, look, I'm glad everyone's covering all these people and doing all that, but it's like, look, the Stuttering John thing, let's be honest, we were one of the very first shows that he tried to sue, that he went after, and this and that. And I recognize why we get iced out of events, because there's somebody there who completely hates us, and it's not Carl, and that's fine. I even understand the reasoning behind it. But that being said, I've never said, I've never cared. I've never been like, oh, you're not giving me credit for Stuttering John. First off, can you imagine saying that like unironically? You're not giving me credit.
I want credit for this,
man. You listen to me. You see this fucking shit show? That's me. I'm like, no, I don't care. Like, it's like, it doesn't really bother me because, listen, that's the truth. We all cover people. Look, there's a crossover, right? Like when there's a locale, all these different shows cover it, and it's fine. I don't care. And this is the other thing. I got along with everybody at the event. When I say everybody, I mean, I thought it was great. I was signing people's stuff. Everybody was awesome. We had people that flew from like all over the fucking country to come see us. Like, it was awesome. So it's like, I had a good time. I thought we all were funny. And after that event, I told Carl, man, I had a great time. Like, I don't have an issue with Carl. But in this scenario, I was even taken aback with like, what's going on? Like, honestly, when I tell you, like, Mersh really, really likes Carl. Like up until this point, was always never a bad thing. I've actually seen Mersh defend Carl when people were trying to talk shit. So it's like, I don't know about this whole like Mersh being a loser. He might be, you know. I mean, we're all podcasters, we're all losers.
Sure.
So,
yeah. No, I'm really cool, Mersh. I don't know if
you
haven't met me in person. I'm pretty cool.
Cool guys. We're cool guys.
Yeah.
We have green screens behind us and we're streaming in a microphone in our spare bedrooms. We are not cool guys, okay? None of us are.
Bomb shelter right now.
Yeah, he's podcasting in front of a wall of MREs. So it's like, we're not cool guys. So that's the one thing I need podcasters to learn. If you want us or who are these podcasters or anybody to make fun of you, it's super simple. Think you're cool. That's the only thing. The moment you think you're cool, you're like, you're not cool, bro. None of us are fucking cool. No one's the cool kid at the nerd table. So let's stop.
I'll defend my who are these socials co-host with this by saying I think when he said the Mersh thing, I think it was clear he was in a bad mood. Like I think the event was going shitty, and he lashed out at Mersh, but it could have been anyone. Whoever's name was brought up at that moment, he was cranky. He was a little grumpy. I mean, I get it. Listen, man, I've done that too. I'll be honest with you. We've all done that. We've all gone on air and been in a bad mood and just. I've been dicks to my friends, so yeah. But that the way it was handled after, I don't really know why. I think maybe again, if this came up, like with me and Carl or Shuley, obviously was handling it kind of similarly to how I was, or someone who wasn't taking it so seriously. I think Carl would have understood the moment and been like, "Oh yeah, I was pissed. I don't know. Sorry, my bad." You know. Yeah. But I think Adam Bush was taking it so seriously that it kind of got Carl into this sense of being defensive. I don't really know.
I don't know who that is, but and I'm not being facetious. I actually don't know who that is. I don't really, and it's not me being a dick. I just don't really listen to a lot of other podcasts.
He's the other guy. When I was on that clip of us on Point Dabble Point, he was the other guy taking it like.
Oh! He's the one that was an actor, right? An actor.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, calm down. Mercer's on One Tree Hill. Yeah, he was. Mersh was on Extra. There's clips of it online. Mersh was actually an extra on CW's One Tree Hill. I'm not kidding.
See, these are two equals that could sit down and talk.
Honestly, you know what it is? It's like when Tupac and Biggie would like Tupac and Biggie would go at each other.
That's right.
Look, it's like Daniel Day-Lewis being a little bit bitter that Leo got the Oscar when he put in the work. I get it. It's the same thing. These
are two thespians. Yeah.
I know. No, it's a matter of fact. I don't know if you know this. But Mersh was an extra in that scene where that guy sold Carlton the gun in Fresh Prince.
No,
that's not true. But isn't it funny that any stupid thing you do on TV shouldn't matter? Who cares? I don't give a shit what show you're on. Anyone, I don't give a. Like, if you're on a CW show, I don't respect you out the gate. So let's just start with that. I mean, Tom Welling's here. Cool. Hey, can you check me out, Tom? Like, I don't care. So. Yeah. I think that with the podcasting thing, what I found, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, that there's some people that come, and I really don't know him. I'm not even trying to shit on him because I really do not know him. I'm just trying to be funny. These are jokes. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
But what I will say is like, I think the people that come from other industries do struggle when they do podcasts to adjust to what it's like, because you see it, they think it's like, well, that's not how we handle it. Yeah, but okay, you're right, but here we call each other retards. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. I like Adam Bush a lot. I met him. They did a live event in Boston a couple months ago, and he was funnier than he comes off on these. Like, he was much more laid back than I was expecting. I do think he's a funny guy. He seems like a very nice guy.
Okay, that was funny, Mike. I'm sorry, but you just said, "Hey, he's funny," or just not on air. None of you guys can see it.
That's not what I meant.
It's hilarious when you're not looking.
The reason I said that is because on this show he does take these things very serious. Like, everyone will be joking around and he'll go, "The really magnificent thing about this Dabbleverse is that you have all these amazing characters culminating in this," and he takes it very seriously, which I like, and I like listening to a lot. But I think in moments like this, where he probably should have just laughed it off and gone, Mersh was right, it was kind of a shitty event, I think it resulted in them taking this too seriously. I think if they all stepped back and looked at it, they would have said like, "Oh yeah, we shouldn't have handle it like this, probably.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is my, and obviously I'm my own person. Like we've made that very clear and that's, I think everyone it should be. It's like Mersh and I have obviously different opinions and we're different people and we argue on our own show. Like what's a real show, by the way. Nobody wants a show where both people are like, yep, you're right. Good point. Like people want, people talking and having different opinions. But I will say this. I do not think it's too far gone where it cannot be kind of rectified, and that would take a lot of people just sitting down and going like, we're being retarded. Can we just
wait till Carl tells you you're above this program, and then you explode on him.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know what, guys? I don't care because you know what? I have to do charity anyway on Sundays, so it was either this or church.
That's my main defense of Carl would be if Mersh went on his show. I know he said he didn't want to because he wanted people to watch Nightwave or whatever.
That's fair.
If Mersh went on Carl's show or Carl went on Mersh's show, whatever, they'd be like Carl wouldn't take it that seriously. I think they would laugh about it within 5 minutes. And everything
I think the moment if they were to both come on, I think it would actually probably help the situation a lot because this shit is gay. I mean, this shit is gay as fuck.
It's crazy that it got to this level that I'm talking about it a week later.
No, what's crazy to me, we're going to talk about this longer than Charlie Kirk shooting. And that's the crazy part to me. That's the part that blows my mind. You were saying earlier, as I was listening to your monologue, you were saying earlier how you were like, and it's like, we're going to forget the Charlie Kirk thing or whatever. Cool. You know what? Let's pretend Charlie Kirk was in the Dabbleverse. We'll never fucking stop talking about it. I know that John had, listen, it's been 4 years and I'm still listening to John had roaches by his router. Like, I got it, guys. Like, I get it. I got it. Look, here's the thing, guys. I have a lot of people in the Dabbleverse that I like. I really do. But I'm going to tell you something. And this is just my opinion, and you take it or leave it. The reason we cover people for a little while and we stop is we get bored. And it's like, there's only so much you could do with anybody. And after a while, it's like, look, right now we're going after these fatsos to go to theme parks. That's hilarious.
Fun.
But
I love that.
It's one of my favorite things. I mean, that's where I'm at. Like my level, everyone's all this anger and fighting. And my level is like, that fatso can't fit on a roller coaster. That's hilarious.
They were going after you too, right? I messaged you about
that. Bro, I have a copyright strike. They gave me a copyright strike because we edited their video. By the way, we won, so you could play it if you want, but we edited their video in a way. Have you well, obviously you haven't seen it, but I have edits. I have edits where basically my wife Marie is we take one of their videos and see him sitting on, trying to sit in rides. And then Marie, who's skinny, she's in a bodybuilding show in November. I cut her like she's in the video and she goes, "Oh, there's plenty of room." And it's been an ongoing story of them. They keep cutting her off every time her clip gets shorter and shorter because they're passive aggressively mad at her. So they got mad at that because obviously it's funny. And they can't handle it. But yeah, so that's basically what we deal with.
Have you ever thought about stop being such a bad boy, Royce? Does it ever get tiresome?
Hey, people call me the Howard Stern of now, which means I suck. That's the video if you want to play it. But it was so funny because these fatsos have been coming after me. And here's the thing: I used to be really fat. And by the way, use my fat photo for the thumbnail. Thanks.
I was HACKRIDE. We're sorry. He doesn't know any better.
I'm just kidding. I don't really give a shit. I've lost 165 pounds.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. 100. I'm at 199 now. So, I mean, I was at 60 something, whatever. Anyway. Yeah. So my point is that it's funny because I love making fun of them. And then people going like, you don't respect fat bodies. I'm like, I was born into it. Molded by it.
That's what I always say because Carl talks about these. He'll play videos of these gals on WATS, and my thing is always like, I'm fat myself, but I'm not like
circus fat. I call it circus fat. No, Mike. No, sorry, Mike. Me too. I'm still fat too. I still have weight to lose. There's plenty of people that are fat, but we don't make fun of normal fat. There's normal fat, right?
Right.
They are.
No, but I also mean like there's a shame that comes with being fat, where I'm like, I'm not like embracing it and being like, you should see what I ate today. No, you're like, you hide, you pretend that it doesn't happen. You know, there's a little shame.
This calories don't count. It's 3 a.m.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's take a look at
This was not the most comfortable roller coaster seat that I've ever sat in. You can tell this by looking at Katie's face. Because the seat is pretty narrow. Luckily, neither of us really wanted to ride this because it is pretty scary. I spoke with an employee after to say that this was not.
And so I've been doing a series where, because we live in Orlando, so we have annual passes. Everyone in we live in Orlando, you have annual passes. You have something to do. So we just been seeing where they go. In a couple, next week we go to the test ride, and I have her sit. I film her, and then I edit her. And the ones when she's eating is funny because they'll be eating like pies and pot pie and cake, and then Maria will be like, I had a salad, and it's in the same restaurant, and it's so fucking funny. They're so angry because they can't even get us for like bullying because no one's even calling them anything. We're just pointing out that there is a size difference. And my favorite thing about the plus size park hoppers is like we all have different demons and we all have different enemies, and it's obviously, look, Mike, you're blind, so there's certain things for you that are more difficult. But you know what problem you probably never had, and none of us have ever had? Have you ever been to a restaurant and been like, I can't be here because the chair has arms? That's crazy.
That's what I mean. And giving the restaurant like a bad review.
Yeah. Dude. Okay. So Olive Garden, this is hilarious. And now every company uses it. I talked to a server about it. Olive Garden has something called a Larry chair. So, and I'll explain what that is. So, you know how Olive Gardens, if you go to an Olive Garden, all their chairs have arms, like, a lot of restaurants do. But there was this guy that would go to Olive Garden every week, and he got so big, he couldn't fit in the chair. So they bought a special chair without arms for him. And his name was Larry, which I'm sure he loves this. It's called the Larry chair. So now a lot of restaurants that have arms have 1 or 2 chairs in the back without them, and they call them Larry chairs.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Poor Larry.
Poor Larry.
I won't be able to get out of my head the rest of this episode that Royce pointed out that I started the program by saying, I hope we don't forget about this Charlie Kirk thing. And minutes later, I'm like, no, Carl didn't mean to offend merch.
That's so true. Guys, but if anything, doesn't that put things...
It really does. You put it all into perspective for me.
Well, you put things into perspective. I do this all the time where I'm like, oh my God, I'm yelling at Brendan Schaub for being retarded. This guy just lost his life because he said words. What the fuck? Why am I so mad?
Do you want to, I'll let you go. I don't want to take too much of your time, Royce, but do you want to go out on a Brendan Schaub clip that I sent Craig?
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen it, but it's I think
it's already great because there's the Leahs in front, so I already know I'm going to love it.
America needs this. It is,
let me do it. Can I do the Leah impression?
Please.
Actually, it's hebophilia. Sorry, go ahead.
It's an important distinction.
I mean, I didn't think why the fuck would the government lie about that? And now
you're like a baby.
No.
That's fine.
But hold on though. This is how. But
okay, hold on.
When that happens,
I always like, because I know where this is going. I always love when Brendan is like, fucking idiot. And this, but you probably realized this long ago, Royce. You were in the Brendan Schaub business long before I was.
Brendan Schaub, the Bapa-verse.
Yes. my perspective on that show entirely changed when I realized Brendan is the mental alpha on that show. Like Brendan's supposed to be the smart one.
Oh, no, I never realized that. You're right. Oh, my God, you're right.
It changes everything when you realize that.
Because Delia's life was ruined so bad because of the decisions he made, but whatever. His life was ruined so bad that he literally had to be the dumb guy on a show whose host is Brendan Schaub. Oh God. Oh my God. That's so much worse than being Brendan, is being a beta to Brendan. That's hilarious.
Like Dalia and Brian Callen and all these guys, they are the Fez Whatley to Brendan's Ron Bennington.
Hey, can I give credit? You know who broke out of it? Callen broke out of it. Callen had to do that for a while because of those stupid accusations, so he kept his mouth shut. But he rode the weather, and now he's kind of like, yeah, I guess I'll do the show once in a while. Yeah, whatever, fine, maybe. Hey, I'll do the show, but you have to fucking move to Austin. And of course, Callen's like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm sorry, Brendan's like, yo, I'll move to Austin, I guess. And then he hates it. So, because you know why? Because he could park his F-150 and park in front of the Comedy Store. But now in Austin at the mothership, they go, yeah, fuck off, asshole. Go park down 6th Street. Get out of here. Beat it.
So we're hearing Brendan kind of look down at Dalia and be like, can you believe this fucking guy? All right, let's hear this.
Oh no, this is how. But when that happens, you just go, all right. If I was in the government, this is what me. I wouldn't lie about this.
Yeah.
I would want people to be healthy.
That's what you want to think.
That's what you want to think. And then you think
You also believe in the land mooning.
the what?
The land moon. Oh
land
my
mooning.
God!
The land-
I hate it. The land mooning.
No, Royce, that's a slip of the tongue we could all make. It's an accident.
That's a slip of the fucking neurons.
He says the land mooning, and then Dalia says the what? And he goes, get the wax out of your ears, Chris.
Yeah,
He repeats it.
Hey, stupid! Have you heard of the land mooning, idiot?
Believe in the land mooning.
The what?
Buzz
the
Armstrong
land mooning.
landed on the moon. Hello?
I do like that he repeats it like three.
Yeah,
more times.
let me hear where he repeats it, where he's like, you don't know the land mooning?
And you think
You also believe in the land mooning.
the what?
The land mooning.
The land mooning.
The mooning.
Moon landing.
The landing on the moon. Jesus Christ! All this Diet Coke's fucking up my
land
brain.
mooning.
Yeah, that's what's fucking up your brains. Not the repeated punches to your fucking temple.
And again, we
I
can
love
all say dumb shit like that, but what makes Brendan is that he doesn't open the door where it's like, all right, this is my turn in the barrel, everyone make fun of me. He's like, oh, it's all this Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's God. You know what? I'm amped up on aspartame. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the NutraSweet. It's not the CTE. And also, by the way,
carbonation.
it's not like. By the way, people, it is CT because he even says it, but like it is CT, which doesn't help. But let's be honest, he wasn't a fucking rocket scientist before he got hit in the head either. So like, you know, he was already baseline not smart. So it's, you know what it's like? It's like taking Forrest Gump and then punching him in the head a bunch.
And it like, I hear Rogan talk about like research he's done and things like, and I'm like, listen, I don't think Joe Rogan's as smart as he thinks he is.
Absolutely not.
But I think he's a smart guy. I think he does care about a lot of these topics and look into them. And he may say some dumb shit at times, but I do think he's smart. The criticism I have of Brendan is that he thinks he's smart because he knows Joe Rogan, which doesn't make any sense. Like, he thinks he knows about all these topics because he's been in that room.
He's smart by proxy, Papa.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. No, but here's the thing. Here's another thing that distinguishes them. Like Rogan, Rogan is not as smart as people try to make him out to be. But I will say this, and listen, with Rogan, with us, it's very funny. We're not one of those people that hate Rogan, and we're not one of those people that love Rogan. We kind of treat Rogan situationally in what he's doing, because I don't think Rogan has bad intentions. I do actually think Rogan is still he's very smart for a guy that shouldn't be. How's that?
That's a great way to say it.
He's very smart for a guy that shouldn't be. And the reason I will say Rogan is better than Brent for many reasons, but is because Rogan, unlike Brendan, will say, you know, I was wrong about that. I was stupid. I changed my mind because that person came. I had an expert that came in and that made me. Brendan will die on every fucking hill forever and ever. Brendan will never go, you know, I was wrong. He wouldn't even say I was wrong about saying the moon landing. He blamed it on Diet Coke.
Goddamn Diet Coke.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I would. You know what? Give me his docs. That's it. I'm getting him fired.
Shin, Pepsi's only from now on.
Hey, was Carl by any chance drinking Diet Coke the night of the Merch comment?
Can you check? Check?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
now that's interesting.
Can
Carl,
I excuse it?
All is forgiven. Craig has cleared your name. Just say you're drinking Diet
Can I
Coke.
excuse it? Can I excuse it?
Yes.
That place looked like a place that gave RC Cola. So if you give me
That's
RC
fair.
Cola, I'm losing my mind. Like, I'll burn a place to the
Hey,
ground.
don't say that, Royce. I'm gonna have to answer for this now.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. No, but RC Cola sucks. That's a fact. No, listen, I will die on that hill. RC Cola sucks. It's flat. It's flat. RC Cola is the only soda that comes pre-flat.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's very fair.
and you're like, this is perfect.
Perfect.
Go follow Royce and ROTC
Thanks, guys.
on Locals. Revenge of the Cis. Royce, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for coming on. I wanted to make sure.
This is super fun.
I do want to say, because I don't think you guys do get enough credit for this. Before I ever knew who you were or knew how the YouTube algorithm worked or anything like that, when I was looking for people talking about Kumia getting fired, you guys were the videos I found, and I was like, oh, people are interested in this stuff. It was you guys and Scion Z or Unique. I don't know if that's company you want to be. I don't know if that's company you want to be lumped in with, but
not necessarily. But whatever. Hey man, I'm glad you found that, and this was a lot of fun, man. If you ever want me on again to fucking rip on these idiots, I'm more than happy to. I love making fun of people.
Talk about Carl like that.
No, hey, do not. I was very political, I think, and I did not make any waves.
tell Mersh if it's not serious until Carl brings an Australian guy on to just take you out.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say what you said, but instead I'm gonna change it and go, hey man, I was on Blind Mike show. I heard it's on site. Like they told me on fucking site.
I like
dude.
that. That's a good. We're gonna steal that phrase now.
And by the way, can
I
give you something that Mersh said behind the scenes that I will give you credit for too, Mike? I meant to tell you this. The way you handle the situation when you were on with Carl, Mersh was like, hell yeah, man. Blind Mike's the man. Blind Mike's the man. That's awesome. He's being fair. That's all all you have to do is be fair. And Mersh was like, all right. He's not. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Blind Mike rules. So it's just, I mean, I do actually try to be as reasoned as possible because again, this shit is fucking gay, dude. We make fun of people online. Who fucking cares?
Right.
But thank you guys, man. I really appreciate it. Revenge of the Sis, .locals.com since they got rid of our Patreon, but we're on Rumble and we're on YouTube. We're on both now. You can check us out there. And yeah, I mean, you guys should come on sometime. That'd be fun again. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Take it easy, guys. See you later.
See you, Royce Lopez, a good man. Go support Revenge of the Sis. And yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I did think it was interesting, the whole Carl thing, but I like everyone involved. So I don't want to come off as I'm betraying Carl or shitting on Mersh or Adam. Or I like all those guys. I just didn't really understand. I heard the comment that Mersh was offended by. I would have been annoyed by it too. And I probably would have reacted similarly to Mersh. And I kind of said that on that show and it didn't really get acknowledged. So I figured as long as we had Royce on, I figured we would talk about it here. But maybe we'll if the fires are still burning, maybe we'll talk about it when I'm on with Carl on Thursday or something. But I imagine by then this controversy will have had died down. But we'll see.
I hope not. I hope it's gone.
That was great. Royce is very funny to do a show with. I enjoy having Royce on, which is why I was bummed when I saw their Patreon got taken down. So I wanted him to at least come on. Not that I'm going to move the needle much for him, but maybe if a couple people subscribe, hopefully, then that bummed me out that I saw his Patreon got taken down, but just the idea that, are we going back towards that world too? That scared me. Where in the blink of an eye, all your fucking hard work can be gone. Or medium work can be gone.
Let's get to some super chats here. They
piled up,
Mike.
Oh my goodness.
I come buckets $2. Kane gang. We are at war with Carl. #Merch1.
No. Like I said, I think of Carl. I think the environment he was in it had him a little grumpy, and I think if he and I talked about it, I think he would admit that I was in a bad mood. I was kind of shitty to Mersh.
Yeah. Keith Richards liver 69 $5. My dingling. I want you to play with my dingling. Just making Craig read the Chuck Berry lyrics for the clip.
How many cribs is Craig saying that over?
Brando $2. Cancel culture. It never fucking ends.
That's a good point, Brando. I guess I did say it in many ways years ago. I summed it up perfectly.
Boxy had $2. Mike has sausage fingers.
I do. I think I have dainty little. I have like lady wrists. I know that, but
I didn't notice. Keep an eye out. We'll get back. Ben R $2. How much money to change the subject? I think this was during the Charlie Kirk thing.
Oh, I thought I said some powerful stuff.
I really liked it. Maynard Plum, $5. Mike, well said. You're both funny and insightful. Terrific social commentary.
It feels sarcastic, but thank you.
I think it's because
no, thank you, buddy.
Flatbush Tommy, $5. Mike didn't even ask for a single super chat, Venmo, PayPal, Rumble rant the entire opening segment. What the fuck?
Do you know? I forget if I mentioned it in there or not. Aaron talked about it the night of.
Oh no! We're back. Oh, I won't be here the next 2 weeks. So I won't even be able to cover it.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I should have.
Damn!
I should have grabbed the clips.
Fuck.
Yeah. Aaron celebrated Charlie Kirk's death by ringing in the goal.
Oh my! What a fucking scumbag!
He's a good guy. That's where you go to heal. You go to his show and you distract yourself by giving him money. It's good. Good stuff.
Dawn Fried Chicken, $5. I'm sure this will be great. The real problem with Charlie Kirk was was his ridiculous views on age of consent. Am I right, Craig?
He was steadfast in that. He would always say 18 is an adult. And Craig was like, I like this guy, but why is he gotta say stuff like that? Why is he gonna say such controversial stuff like that?
Box Eating Dad, $2. Ralph Conti, you say? Wow.
Ralph Conti.
Don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was another Dabbleverse guy. I didn't know.
Oh no, I'm not familiar. I know Ralph, assistant producer Ralph. I know he's a good egg.
Principled Uncertainty, £5. Royce, as Mike often reminds us, cancel culture is over.
That's right. It's official.
Flatbush Tommy, $2. Love the Aunt Tutty hat, by the way, you piece of garbage.
Shout out. That's the other. I made sure to wear this because I didn't want to make it seem like I was taking myself too seriously during the Charlie Kirk thing. I said, at least let me wear an "Are you garbage" hat while I'm doing this.
Ben R, $5. ROTC still rails against old subjects and merch is unmarketable. That's why this is happening.
That's why what's happening?
I have no idea. Fighting with Carl, he's unmarketable.
I don't think that's why, but like I said, I'm usually on Carl's side with all this stuff, but I didn't really understand it. Maybe Carl will want to convince me otherwise, but I thought he was wrong on that, and I also don't think it's that big a deal that he's wrong on it. I don't know. It's amazing to me that it was a subject that fueled so much controversy.
Manny Muscat's $2. Always fun hanging with ROTC.
Yeah, they seem like good eggs, those guys.
Fatty Pneumonia, $2. Here's $2 to help Craig buy some curtains. The sun's
do you need curtains?
The sun's bleeding into my camera right now, and I don't have
Craig.
curtains. Yeah,
that's why I didn't want him on screen to take away from my big important point.
I'm just blinding everybody. Hack the Movies, $5. I don't know who to side with. Who are these podcasts or ROTC war? Carl made me cringe of the week once, and Royce mocks my Italian heritage.
He's like, they both hate me. who do I side with? Well, that's the thing. Is like, I don't think you need to side with anyone. I think they'll all be friends at the end of the day.
Tabor Benedict, HVAC Emporium and Discount Law, $10. Great. Why are you laughing on the ONA teen bus? Awesome that Craig had all the videos saved on his special hard drive. So none of the tech issues.
Craig had it saved under old ladies.
Raphael Wells just sent $2. Oh wait, now sent $5. Here for the blind Mike. Pauses. Spit it out, you fuck. Other than that, I do enjoy the show. You've not been one I've known to pause.
Me? No,
Yeah.
Maybe he's saying I'm too long-winded or something.
I don't know. And lastly, Revenge of the Sis gifted 5 Blind Mike Project memberships.
Whoa, what a guest. He comes on and then pays us on his way out. Thanks, Royce.
Buy yourself something nice, huh?
All right. Shall we get into some questions now? I figured I was away this week, and like I said, there were some things that piqued my interest, but I said, you know what? Let me talk to the people. Let me see what's on the people's minds. And I want to talk to you fine gearheads. The last time we did this was behind the paywall. So I said, let's speak to all the people this time.
I should start with the Patreon.
Yes. Yeah, they still get first rights, of course.
Let me refresh in case some last minute additions were here.
Yeah.
Load more comments. We have, it's not loading. There we go. Oh, there's more than I thought.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Kyle, I won't read the last name just in case. Have you watched Tires? If you have, what did you think? If you haven't, why not? Also, I asked this question last time and you didn't answer. What the fuck?
Casey Day's censoring. He doesn't want people hearing my hot, controversial Tires takes.
That it's great.
I should write more. Maybe I should do that more for like TV shows and stuff. I thought we did talk about Tires season 2. Way better than season 1, I thought. And I enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
But I said season 1 was like, it reminded me a lot of season 1 of Always Sunny, where you're like, okay, they're going somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they're developing something here. And then season 2, I definitely thought was a big step up. I think it'll continue to get better once they figure out what all those characters are.
Yeah.
Like Stavros in that show, they figured out.
So good.
I don't think Stavros had like a real role in season 1.
No.
Like they didn't know what the character was yet, really. He was like a dick that works. Season 2, they figured out, oh, just let him be Stavros.
Right.
Like he's this like sexual deviant, like this very funny, condescending guy. Like they made Stavros into a legitimately good sitcom character. And I think that'll come more like, I think right now, Will, Gerby's character, and Shane are both kind of funny because like they're funny guys. But I think as that show goes on, they'll figure out more characters for each of them, which will be cool to see. But yeah, great show. I think all the additions they made were good. Like Thomas Hayden Church was a very good addition. Nice to see like Big J and DeRosa and guys like that in there, McCusker. But yeah, no, season 2 I thought was a huge step up from season 1.
Just never Dan Soder.
Never Dan Soder. When I thought the perfect opportunity, because Big J plays a radio guy, I thought the radio team, like it would have been a nice homage to the Bonfire if it was Big J and Dan. But
we will get to the Bonfire, I believe.
Oh, good.
From Germ, is Carl as gay as everyone accuses him to be?
This is slanderous. Although there's a Stuttering John uses a very catchy "Just Do It" song to open his show now. But no, I don't believe Carl is gay. You son of a bitch.
Cartographer, this was asked before the shooter was caught. Where were you Wednesday around noon? Also, have you seen
None of your business?
Have you seen Animals on HBO? It ran for 3 seasons and was really good.
No. What era was that on HBO? I'm not familiar. Animals? I don't know.
Never even heard of it.
Neither have I. HBO had a run. I don't know that this is still necessarily true, but like everything they put on, all their original programming, even if you yourself didn't like it, you had to be like, oh, this is excellent. Like
Yeah.
they had a run for like 15 or 20 years where they really didn't miss. So
Like
if it was in that era, I'll watch it.
Sopranos, Curb, The Wire, Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, I mean, even shit like Entourage, Sex in the City, like even if it
Right.
wasn't necessarily for you, like those are
Entourage.
quality shows.
I liked Entourage a lot.
I loved Entourage, especially in the early. I think it's interesting about that show is like it was critically acclaimed early on, and then once like Tina Fey pointed out it was for douchebags, it just put such a stink on that show. Where like it's hard to watch. Like now, if you go back and watch it, I still think there's plenty of funny stuff, but it is hard not to watch and be like, oh yeah, these guys are kind of douches.
Yeah.
What we have to remember is like that was an accurate representation of what Hollywood was at that time. Like that probably is not that far off from what Mark Wahlberg's crew was like running around Hollywood, you know?
Correct.
I thought I liked particularly the first like 4 seasons of that show.
What year is your Spank Bank locked in? Who is the newest member?
I actually think that's a great question.
I mean,
particularly for me with my eyes. I don't know if that's the angle they were going with.
Right. I think so.
Yeah. I mean, like Lisa Ann, Brandy Love. I like Alexis Fox. But I will say I go more genres and subjects. Because I'm a guy that likes a storyline. I need you to romance me a little. Tell me what we're doing here, you know?
Well, that's probably because you can't see, so you need
Exactly. We just get right into a video where I hear moaning and, you know? I'm like, how did these two people get into this position? You know, what occurred? How did they fall in love? What happened?
Have they met before?
Right. Yeah. I need to be wined and dined a little. So I look more for subjects like Naughty America is a big one that I've mentioned before. Things like that, more so than particular actresses.
How's it going at the new? This is from Dan. How's it going at the new place? Did you find all the curbs in your neighborhood yet?
Thank you, Dan. It's going very well. Difficult at first to get adjusted. It made me realize how blind I really am now. That was a struggle at first. But no, getting more and more used to it every day. So I can walk around without my trusty cane now and things like that in the house and stuff like that. So getting adjusted to it. But, you know, every day's a struggle. I'm a real hero.
Flobenstein. Craig, do you prefer boys or girls and why? And are you racist with your with your pedophilia as you are in your everyday life?
Can I tell you? I don't know why. I think Alba must have looked at her phone or something, and she read me that comment. That was the only one. That was one of the ones I heard on the day I posted this.
She's like, this guy was in my house.
It's pretty good stuff. But I think it's a good question, and the floor is yours.
I'm into women.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Are you racist with your sexual deviancy?
No.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to think of like, this is a trap question. No matter how I answer it, I sound guilty.
Now fuck them all.
Jonathan Bunch, do you like beer? If so, what kinds of beer?
I like beer very much. I wore a Treehouse hat on the program a week or two ago, I think. Treehouse is very good. A local brewery in Massachusetts. You can't get it anywhere but at the their few locations. But if I'm drinking for a night, as I said, you try and watch the weight on some respect. I'll go Michelob Ultra or something like that. But I do like IPAs. You just can't drink too many of them.
I'm just a light beer guy.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah. Miller Lite, to be specific. Sorry.
Who you sorry to?
I'm going against Shane Gillis. Sorry.
Sorry, America.
Matthew asks, do you watch television series or films, or do you just watch comedy and podcasts?
It's actually not a terrible question, because I haven't found like good shows lately. Even shows we've gotten into have been older. Like we watched the first season of Sneaky Pete on Amazon from years ago, like 10 years ago it came out, I think. I haven't found a good new show.
I just watched the newest show I watched was like Hunting Wives or something, and I wanted to blow my brains out towards the end of it.
Is that a reality show?
No, it's a new show on Netflix.
Hunting Wives?
Yeah, it's about like a murder that happens in Texas and they're trying to cover it up.
Okay.
It started off pretty interesting, and then it's just kind of dragged.
It's about ladies?
It's about rich guys and their devious ladies.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Yeah, I haven't been able to sink my teeth. The last show that like I would, wait for every week when it came out, like Succession and Better Call Saul were the last shows I really gave a shit about. And we're going on a couple of years now, right? Since those have been done.
I'm rewatching The Sopranos for like the 5th time right now.
That's what I mean. It's like I'll do something like that. I'll rewatch like Breaking Bad or something for the millionth time. But
that's next.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that's one of those ones though you gotta wait 5, 6, 7 years till you forget a bunch of shit.
I recommend. I've always wanted to get someone to do this. It's just, the thing is, everyone watched Breaking Bad kind of when it was on, or when it came on to Netflix at least. But I would love someone to watch Better Call Saul first,
see if it makes sense,
and see how that experience is, and then watch Breaking Bad. Now, the weird thing is, I guess the final season of Better Call Saul would give some stuff away.
Yeah.
In Breaking Bad?
I haven't watched it.
You haven't?
No, I started watching the first season of Better Call Saul.
Give that a watch if you need something to watch.
Yeah, I've heard the first season was so slow.
It's very slow.
So like I stopped.
The last, I would say 2 seasons, maybe 3, but definitely the last 2, I think are on par with Breaking Bad.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that for the rest of the series. I think it's all good, but the last 2 seasons I put on the same level.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that then. Maybe I'll watch Better Call Saul, then go into Breaking Bad again.
Give it a whirl. It's very important that you do that.
I'll report back.
Yeah, thank you.
SJ, Craig, would you call a pedophile the N-word?
Interesting. Would you?
With nuisance?
I think the guy that played Elmo was African American, right?
Oh, is he a pedophile? I was like, okay.
Bring up a picture of Elmo and shout the N-word, Craig. Let's do this exercise.
No.
All that would happen is my Patreon gets taken down. You get a promotion,
right?
Oh, I heard Kirk say this the other day. Is Jerry missing? What happened to him?
His voice is acting up again.
Okay. Okay.
He tweeted it out. We did on September 11th. We did a show because he was like, I have to because of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must have been tough if he couldn't talk
Nah,
about it.
he fought through that one.
I like to think I picked up the mantle for him today.
I believe we're back tomorrow morning.
Well, that's exciting.
But I feel like I did this dance last time.
Yeah.
I was like, "Up tomorrow's look. I guess not." I'll find out tomorrow morning. Craig, why? This is Dawn Fried Chicken.
Okay.
Craig, why do you pick up kids from the school bus stop that aren't yours, and why do I not see them waiting for the bus the next day?
Why do you do that?
They're bad kids.
That's not a great answer. I'm disciplining them.
Craigophile 69.
That's a name.
That's a name on Patreon.
That's great.
Any chance we get a Why You Laughing or Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Very much so. Yes, for whatever reason. I don't know that it would be on why you Whose Line Is It Anyway or Drew Carey in general. But for whatever reason, that's been a recent fall asleep. There's a guy that puts compilations of the different Whose Line Is It Anyway games. And I've been falling asleep to that lately.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, you said it.
No, I'm gonna go through the super chats real quick.
Okay.
Chad's missing up. No, I'll get to the why I just said that in a second. Chad's missing upper lip, $5. Mike's beard must be getting dyed by the same guy that does Wit's hair.
Why? Does it look particularly dark?
Yeah, it doesn't look any different than normal to me.
Oh.
Raphael Wells, $2. No, I'm saying you pause.
Oh, I do. Okay.
I don't think you're watching the show very much, sir.
I guess I don't know. Maybe I do.
Ben Boolin, $2. Golly, Craig sure looks cool.
Agreed. I assume you have your glasses on today.
Of course. And Chad's missing upper lip, $5. Craig, who's your favorite comedian and why was it John Reap? So that did was make me look up who this was, and I went, oh. the first headline.
You know what's crazy? He's like a clean comic, I think. And he's been on Nate Bargatze's podcast a bunch. I looked. I don't know if those episodes are still up. I typed in his name and Nateland, and I didn't see those episodes come up. So I think Nate might have deleted them.
Was he an actor on something?
He was in Harold and Kumar.
Okay.
Go to Guantanamo, but the second one, and he was the. I think does that thing got a Hemi guy or something like that?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I recommend Legion of Skanks did a very funny segment where Steve Renazizi, I guess, used to hang out with John Reap. So they had some fun with that. But they talked about the John Reap situation. Pretty crazy. And it does seem like it's always clean comics that have these demons in their closet for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. Did you see what the charges were for John Reap?
Something to do with kids. Hold on, let me pull back up.
Well, you've really hit the nail on the head.
On multiple child sexual exploitation charges.
Yes, ages 0 to 3.
Ew.
Torture. Yes.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yes. Craig's videos are all coddling them and loving.
They're above board.
Yes.
In Cool Cut Casting, $2. Did Israel wipe out Kirk, or was it really a Troonie?
I see. That stuff I don't know enough. I don't know enough to answer.
Did he go against Israel and Ben Shapiro the day before? Sure. Sure he did. Anything's possible. Let's see. All right. Is Chef Lewis, is Skankfest still progressing comedy like it did 3 years ago? And do you think Bill Burr asking for $200K for an appearance is a slap in the face for the comedy scene? Is that true?
I didn't hear the number, but Lewis did say on the regs that he said, I know what the astronomical number that Bill Burr asked for Skankfest. So I know probably what he's getting from Saudi Arabia. Or can't imagine what he's getting from Saudi Arabia. I didn't hear $200,000. Was that true?
Going to Saudi Arabia?
Oh yeah, you didn't know this?
Oh, that stupid, hypocritical cocksucker.
I'm not going to argue with you this
Oh
time.
my fucking god!
I'm one of you guys now. I'm not going to argue this time.
Oh, what a fucking asshole!
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. He was maybe the craziest name on the list, but he got like Aziz is on there, and
that kind of makes sense. He's probably got family there or somewhere close by.
Yeah. He's probably Saudi Arabian. You're right.
He might be. I don't know. From that hemisphere.
Yeah, sure is. It's from that hemisphere.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bill Burr.
No, we talked about it. It really shows how much Craig watches this show when he's not on. But we did talk about it a lot last week.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I certainly won't defend Bill on that one. Like the idea that you're gonna talk about human rights and all these things and then take money from Saudi. I'm guessing he's getting, my guess would be like $4 million probably or something like that.
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, they're paying fucking no-name golfers $100 million contract.
And the thing is, you say what you want about Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon will be like, yeah, I did it because I'm getting $375,000. That's why I'm doing it.
WrestleMania 43 is going to be in Saudi Arabia. It just got announced.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough to really get I've been morally outraged once today, Craig. You know, I don't know. I don't have it in me to do it twice, but it does seem pretty hypocritical of Bill to be like, just go over there and take money that's what I was about to say. Is Tim will like talk about it. He'll go on Rogan. He'll be upfront about it. He'll call into Legion of Skanks and he'll say exactly what he's getting paid, tell you why he's doing it. I don't know that Burr will talk about this. Maybe someone could send me a clip from his podcast where he's addressed it. I doubt that exists, but I'd like to be proven wrong.
I can't imagine he's asking for that figure from Skankfest.
200,000?
Yeah.
No, it's well. That's just you might as well just say no. Just say no. I'm not going to do it because that would, I think, bankrupt them. Probably if they paid Bill Burr $200,000. You know, that's not a. I think they make money on that festival now, and it's growing every year. But that is not something that brings in millions of dollars, and they can pay these guys whatever. Like the reason they're able to get Shane and Tim Dillon and these guys that would command a lot of money is I think a lot of them are doing Lewis sort of a favor. They think it's a fun event. They want to do it and support it. And Bill has been there. He showed up. He was filming something in New York a few years ago, and he showed up for the goddamn comedy jam.
So that's him wanting to be a fucking rock star.
Right.
Fucking asshole. Do you think it's still progressing comedy?
Oh, I think Skankfest is an important thing. I like that exists. Because I don't think without that, I don't know what the sort of counterculture comedy festival would be. You'd have to fly to Saudi Arabia for it, apparently. But there is no, Netflix is a joke. You're just getting what Netflix serves you. I think the only counter to that I know of is Skankfest, so I'm glad it exists. I don't really know what that question means. Is it progressing comedy? I don't know, but I do know they still have a diverse, the only true diverse group of acts. Like Netflix wants to act like they have, diverse lineups, and they have people that will all think and say the same things. They've gotten a little better at that with embracing different voices, but Skankfest is the only thing that truly does that to the level that they do, I think. So I'm glad it exists. I don't know if it's progressing comedy or not, but I'm glad it exists, and I still support it every year.
Jack Sampson, $5. Mike, you are definitely getting canceled when people see your ultra conservative producer's name on the Epstein list. Just kidding, Ironhead.
That would be kind of cool if Craig got on that list. You know
why?
Huh?
Why?
Well, that's sort of an elite group. It'd be Clinton and Trump and you. You know, that's rarefied air.
It's gonna go back to you being like, I knew I saw something in him. Ethan says, any official comment on Justin essentially asking to grow old with you in a potentially homosexual way?
A little odd, and I'll say this, I haven't had a chance to say it yet. People think that Justin and Mick thing was a bit that Justin was doing. He asked me the day, like a couple days before that. He goes, "Do you think Kirk is gay with Mick?" And I was like, out of nowhere, I was like, "No, why?"
That wasn't a bit.
I think he really thinks that because he asked me, and I was like, "I think this reaction is why Kirk supports Mick as much as he does. I think he likes that it bugs you." But I don't know. Mick thinks there's some romantic relationship.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, yeah, if they're both adults, if there was something going on, I support that as well. But I would be very surprised. I don't think that's the case.
Patrick says, thoughts on Mutts to Barstool?
Very happy for Mutt.
I'm glad he finally fucking did it.
Very happy for Mutt. It was a thing he didn't think was going to happen. You know,
no.
Like I just thought Mutt would continue doing that thing that he did the day before he went on Unnamed, where it was a frustrating thing, but you wouldn't get an answer out of him, but he would never really tell you why, even though everyone would kind of know it's because he doesn't want to work for or with Kirk or whatever it would be.
Oh, no, I think it's he went home and finally got permission.
That was the craziest thing. I think they almost didn't do enough talking about that. That's nuts that for a year he had this kind of looming offer with Barstool and never talked to his wife about it.
Nuts.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. I don't know. When he was talking to Dave about, like, it seemed like it finally like hit, and he was saying he was like scared of change and stuff. And I get that, but like,
yeah.
Dude, it's not going to change. You don't have to move anywhere.
Well, my thing was for him, like for me, say, if I was still working on Kirk's show and wanted to do this or whatever, Barstool has no interest in that, like what I'm doing right now. It does nothing for them. I'm not a name.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe one day. But they have no interest in this or why are you laughing or anything. What Mutt does, Barstool is the premier place for it. Mutt wanted to blog, do college basketball podcasts, and do gambling content. I don't know where you would do that other than Barstool Sports. So it was weird that he kept turning it down, but I'm glad he came to his senses. I think it's the right place. I like those. Have you seen the video blogs he's doing?
They're so funny because he doesn't have access to the blog yet.
It's very funny. My favorite part of it is he goes, like he'll read the blog and then he'll go, and then right here, I would have had a hyperlink that you could click and watch the video. Like he's just saying it out loud, but there's nothing he can post.
He's doing everything in such a great way that like he's going to blow up.
Maybe. I hope so. I wish nothing but the best for Mutt. He's a good man. He did. It was funny though. I DM'd Mutt and said, congratulations. Mm-hmm. And he replied, he's like, "Oh, you don't have my phone number? Here it is." And he gave me his phone number. And what Mutt doesn't know is I do have his phone number, and I've texted him multiple times, and he ignores me. So I message him on Twitter now.
He's already got the Barstool big shot energy, so he's going to fit right in.
No, this was when I know Kirk likes that when I bring this up. I had Kirk on my podcast when I was a street teamer free EI, and I mentioned trying to get Mutt on or something. Or maybe he said, like, why don't you have other people on? Like, why haven't you had Mutt on? And I said, I asked Mutt, and he told me to get back to him at the All-Star break. And I remember Kirk going, "The All-Star break?" He was outraged that Mutt told me, like, get back to me in a few months.
I remember that. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but shout out Mutt Stack. Oh, it's funny that Portnoy owns Mutt Stack too.
All the stacks.
I tweeted this out. Mutt has 5,000 subscribers, but they're all free. I follow the stock market enough to know our valuation has skyrocketed in the last few days,
Yeah. But like we gotta get like 10 years worth of income.
That's right. Yeah, he's gonna bet 6 weeks of Packers games to afford us.
Yeah, that's right. Angelo says, "Congratulations on the big move. I'm excited for you and the skirt. With the holidays coming up, and your family will probably be coming together to celebrate at this celebration with the skirt's dad finally ever get Kev to agree to take him out on the open sea."
The ball is out of my court.
Yes.
They've met.
We talked about this briefly last.
Yeah, they met. They've talked. They talked about the boat. Kev invited him on the boat. My hands are clean now.
The middleman is gone.
I'm out of this. He's invited him. If he doesn't take him, it's on him. You know. Now he'll be wearing his life vest and fishing cap when Kev comes around instead of me.
How deep is your pool going to be from Kirky Walnuts?
The deep end will be 6 feet, I believe.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
No one needs to be doing dives anymore, you know?
No, I did. It's a common joke the family still makes. Have I ever told this story? When I was a boy, I could still see a little better. I've always been what they call legally blind, but my vision has decreased over the years. Now I'm essentially blind. Back in the day, I could get around without a cane and things like that, at least. But we went on vacation with other families, like 4 or 5 families would rent a house in the Outer Banks. And if you've ever been to the Outer Banks, they have these big, beautiful house with like 20 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So like a bunch of us would like go down and rent out one of these big 3 or 4 story houses. And they had a pool that was like, if you went onto the roof, the pool was what looked like a fun jump from the roof. And so a couple of my brothers did it. A couple of the other boys our age did it. And they were like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so my stepbrother was like, he goes, "Barely push off." He's like, "Because the pool is close enough to the house. From this distance, you basically want to fall."
Oh,
so
no.
I did that, and it was exhilarating. The best feeling I've ever had in my life. So I run back upstairs and I do it again, and I'm so excited that this time I push a little more.
Oh no!
I lay like if I jumped maybe 6 inches further, I'd be paralyzed.
Oh my God! You were diving?
Well, no, I was like jumping, like cannonballing or whatever I was doing.
Oh my God!
Yeah. And one of the girls that was there was in tears and ran across the street to the beach to find the parents and tell them the horror she had just witnessed.
So did you partially hit outside the pool?
No, I made it. But like by all accounts, I didn't feel anything. It just felt like the same as the first time to me.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, they said I basically like scraped the edge of the pool.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
When you started telling this story, I was like, "Well, I know you're fine, so it can't be that."
Yeah, that's the thing. And I just wheel out from behind the desk.
There's an elevator going in the house. Would you do Why You Laughing on the... someone kind of answered this question for them. But would you do Why You Laughing on the origins of the Dabbleverse as someone who's new to this and has a lot of questions? If not, can Craig set up Dabbleverse Wikipedia page? I'm the worst.
I think Cardiff does. I think Cardiff has that, right?
I
think Cardiff has something. Shout out Cardiff Electric. Go follow Cardiff Electric if you're looking, because I think he has something like that that breaks down all of the different characters in the Dabbleverse. We did do. It's called Stuttering John into the Dabbleverse, the episode of Why You Laughing, and I assume that's what you mean by the start of the Dabbleverse is basically the start of Stuttering John coverage.
Yeah, and some Annie Mac says there's 2 Why You Laughing on Stuttering John in the Dabbleverse in the back catalog.
Yeah. So check those out. On the more in-depth parts of the Dabbleverse, I wouldn't be the guy to make that, really. If you're asking about like Joey C and Karmic X and people like that, I wouldn't be the guy to cover that stuff. Tukey would be good at that, I think.
Turbo 7049 wants to know, now that you've quit KMS, will you do...
All right. I'm in on Thursday.
Will you do Blind Mike Project more than once a week?
That's been discussed.
Yeah.
The thing is with that, if I was going to do Blind, it would be more. KMS would have nothing to do with that, really. That would be more who are these socials? Like, I think if I stopped doing who are these socials, I might bring some of those characters into this world and use that as a base for a second episode every week. So that it would be more to do with that than any amount that I'm doing KMS. Because that I'm not getting into those, like, rarely, unless like I bring them up, kind of rarely are we touching on similar, with the exception of like Howard Stern this week or when something's a big news like that. rarely are we stepping on the same topics when I'm on that show, you know.
Annie Mac wants to know, are you going to do a Why You Laughing top 19 dead comedians as a follow-up to the top 19 alive comedians that you already put out?
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, that'd
It's
be
a harder, but I want to do a top 100 comedians.
We've been talking about this for 5
I
years.
know. I know. I've been tinkering. You don't understand the tinkering that has gone. If you think the top 19 comedians was a lot of tinkering,
Yeah.
you don't understand the laboratory that I've been in trying to perfect this. So eventually I would like to do that. But yeah, maybe top 19 dead comedians is easier. Maybe at the end of this season I will do that.
Where is it? King CJ, if you could rank these 6 comedians from funniest, I'm guessing funniest to least funny.
The least funny? Okay.
Normand, Okerson, Soder, List, Morrill, Santino.
Normand, Okerson, Morrill, List, Soder, Santino. Do I have that right?
Yep.
I mean, List is my number 1. I think people will dispute that probably, but for me, I put List at the top. I think his specials have been the most solid output of specials I've seen from anyone in the last 5 years. Consistently, all like same level of funny, just funny top to bottom. And List is the one guy on that list. I think he's as funny on most podcasts. Not necessarily when he's on like Rogan or something like that, but like on most podcasts, I think he's as funny on podcasts as he is in his stand-up. Whereas like I think Norman's much funnier on podcasts than his stand-up. I would say that of Big J probably as well. And Santino, I would say that of most of those guys on that list. I think Soder's come a long way in his stand-up. I might go List, Normand, Soder, Okerson, Morrill, Santino. And I like all those guys, so that's not disparaging to Morrill or Santino, but I think that's the order I would put them in.
Amanda,
you agree or disagree with that?
I don't know if I've watched enough of all of them to give a proper list.
Oh, okay.
But I like
Craig's gonna do his own tinkering.
I like Joe List specials, and I'm in this weird. I don't even know how I got into it, but my TikTok algorithm is all bad friends, and I've never watched.
You mentioned this. I do like those guys. Santino's very funny. You know what? I gotta watch Santino's new Hulu special before I can officially put him at the bottom of that list. Maybe that's maybe he's upgraded since the last time I saw him.
I think Hulu special might answer your questions.
No, I mean they're trying.
Exactly.
They're making an effort, you know.
Amanda 5x5. What are your thoughts on the stunning announcement that Ron Bennington will be joining us at Skankfest 2025?
Yes. Well, Amanda will be there too. That's exciting. But yes, Ronnie B will be at Skankfest. I was surprised when I saw that just because I thought he was like basically retired, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it kind of bummed me out. I heard, I don't remember where I heard this, but someone mentioned it recently. They said, oh yeah, Bennington is on Sirius noon to 2. And it's like, oh, they whittled him down to 2 hours and he's middays again. It kind of bummed me out that like he's just sort of fading away. But then like when he was on Norton's podcast, he's still as funny as ever. So I don't know, maybe him going to Skankfest, like maybe he's going to do stand up. I assume he's going to do it unmasked there. I don't really know, but no, I'm glad Ronnie B is making it out.
What is Craig? I'm reading the Patreon questions first, chat. They're asking where I'm getting these from. This is funny. Mike, how do you know when Craig is done wiping?
He gives me a call.
I text him.
Yes.
Stefan wants to say, Mike, what time is love?
What time is love? Right now, friend.
1:43, right, guys?
So right now and always.
Stefan again. Mike, would you rather have hands instead of feet or feet instead of hands?
Hands instead of feet, feet instead of hands.
I think it's hands instead of feet. It's easy.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to walk on hands, right?
Yeah, and still be able to grab things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go hands instead of feet. I don't want to put too much thought into it. I don't want to waste too much of our time thinking about it.
Danny and Belrica, what happened to the Why You Laughing intro with the cartoon Craig who looked like he was playing a piano sticking out of Mike's butt?
Now, is that true?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I hope that's not true. Listen, Casey Day's come a long way in learning what I like and what I don't like, you know?
Aaron Lewis, isn't that the guy from Stained?
It is, yes.
And
from my neck of the woods, Springfield, Massachusetts, I believe.
He's got a question.
Oh, thanks, Aaron.
Are you guys going to make it out to Vegas for Hackamania 3 next April? I went this year and it was a blast, but I do have the advantage of corrected 2020 vision.
Yeah, it's been discussed. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but it's been talked about. I don't. Those like live events like that are very difficult for me. If Kirk asks me to do one, I'll always do it because I think I owe him that. But like traveling to Vegas for something like that could be very difficult. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. That's for sure. It seemed like a fun time. It seems like Patrick put on a good event. So I'm definitely thinking about it, but I don't have an answer yet.
I'll go with you, Mike.
Boy, that's comforting. That'll make it all so much easier.
Mike, not a question, just a plea for the Beggy Monster.
This is my life is now.
Dance, puppet.
Let's see if he's awake. No. Hello? No.
Is the volume up?
Oh, God damn it. All right, hold on. This should be him. Hey, Beggy Monster. Are you around?
Yes, I am. Terrific.
Like DJ horns go off. Whoops.
Maybe I'll do the rest of the show like this. What's the next question?
Killer 420. What do you think about the Oregon Ducks after the first 3 weeks?
Well, I think it's a promising program this year. I will say, Casey Day sent me multiple Dan Lanning clips talking about Charlie Kirk. As if I would be like.
As if I would. I can't do it anymore. I love Casey. He's like, oh, you're talking about Charlie Kirk. You're probably going to want to bring up this Dan Lanning clip, which Dan Lanning was very good talking about it. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I haven't watched it yet. He sent it to me, though.
It's just funny, the idea, like, in the monologue that I gave, the idea that I would pause and go, now let's hear from Oregon Ducks coach Dan Lanning.
I will say that intro that we did today, the Charlie Kirk one, every picture of Charlie Kirk that was depicted was him in an Oregon Ducks shirt.
I didn't know that.
Which I didn't want to say at the time, ruin the moment.
Shout out to Jesse Wells, by the way. I only wanted to play that. I hope it didn't come off like I was trying to have this somber moment. I just like Jesse Wells a lot, and I thought he did a very good job. So shout out to if you don't know who that is at the beginning of the program, that was Jesse Wells.
Would you guys ever consider doing a Why You Laughing episode about John Waters? I know he's not a comedian, so to speak, but much like Mel Brooks, his influence on comedy is undeniable. Take care, Mike and Craigers.
Yeah, I'd be open to names like that. I'll have to look more into them. I wouldn't say I know a ton about them. People often mention, I think we even have a question like, would you do different obscure British guys and stuff like that? It's tough. I'll say this. If you want to pitch one of those guys to me, feel free to message me and give me something that might hook me in. Because it's hard for me. Like Ricky Gervais will obviously do, because I'm interested in his career. I've followed enough stuff and I'm aware of enough stuff that he's done that I'd be interested in talking about him. Mm-hmm. Like Billy Connolly, for example. Throw me something that might pique my interest in doing an episode that like will get the ball rolling on me researching the person or the subject. Because if I don't know them, it's difficult for me to like motivate myself to sink my teeth into the topic. But if you give me a few breadcrumbs, like Vinnie Paulino, when he suggested Mike Warnke, that religious guy that we did, you remember that?
Yeah.
Vinny Paulino gave me the whole rundown of this guy who was basically running kind of a grift, like living this lie. Basically, he told all these demonic stories, and none of them were ever fact checked or anything until years later. And then when he told me that, I was hooked. So if you tell me something like that about one of these people, that would make it more likely for me to do an episode on them. Not like that. You're not going to be all demonic warlords, but
the last Patreon question.
Oh,
Mike, would you ever do a bonus episode on your origin story, like Barstool and how you got there? I actually found you a couple years ago when I started watching Who Are These Podcasts, and you were one of my favorite guests, along with Brian Johnson. Also, possibly how the whole gang came together for the show. Craig's Captive Kids, Casey, Electra, HACKRIDE. I don't know much about how the show came to be, only I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, maybe that might be worth doing sometime. I kind of did a breakdown of my relationship with Portnoy a few weeks ago. The problem with doing that is, like, I don't find myself to be that interesting a subject, and I don't think it's like,
we can call it "Why Aren't You Laughing?"
Maybe a few people would enjoy it, but it feels weird for me to put out a video like, here's how Mike Geary got his start. It feels very self-indulgent. But like, yeah, maybe as different topics come up, it'll be worth doing things like that here and there. But it's not that interesting a start. I got hired. If you go watch the interview with Dave Portnoy that I did an interview where, like, I could tell it was kind of like Mutts, where I was pitching him things I thought would be good, like that, like different blogs I would write or whatever. And he's kind of like, well, how would we like make any money from you? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Fuck. And then I was like, you can make fun of me for being blind. That's something. And he's like, oh, interesting. So that's like kind of where I piqued his interest. And then from, beyond that, the evidence of it all is kind of online, but maybe one day. Yeah. It's an interesting idea.
Hamilton Burger, $2. Craig Ferguson, why are you laughing? 2 words. Bang Hitler.
Oh, for sure. Craig Ferguson's definitely on the list. I like Craig Ferguson.
Underrated guy.
For sure.
Do you want to go to Twitter or YouTube for the next?
Dealer's choice. You choose, Craig.
I'll go YouTube because they're probably more. I haven't read the Twitter ones, but I can only imagine how off the rails they are.
I think you're judging people too harshly.
Let's see. Sheffy One Eye. Blind Mike, as a fellow sight-afflicted brother, I appreciate you so much. You're always a treat for me to watch on Monday morning in Australia.
Well, thank you, buddy.
I have one question for you. Are you able to cover more Ron and Fez on Why You Laughing from the O&A world, maybe Lady Di, although a full O&A Freaks with her as one of the many topics could be covered on this?
Yeah, definitely. Those are definitely on the list. An O&A Whack Pack, a Howard Stern Whack Pack, and definitely more Ron and Fez episodes. I was thinking about asking, I believe Al Dukes, producer of Boomer and Geo on WFAN.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's a fan of Why You Laughing. He's reached out to me a couple times, and he was Ron and Fez producer at WNEW. So I was thinking about asking him to do an episode this year about Ron and Fez.
That'd be awesome.
And the WNEW days, because he's an interesting guy. Because I was messaging with him about it, and he's like, I'd love to give like my insight sometime. I don't know that even I know what exactly was a bit on that show, but
same person. Another question: who do you love more, Craigers or Casey and Electra? I can't decide. Maybe you should let them fight at Skankfest.
I don't know if I have that kind of power, but it's tough to decide. I love them both in different ways.
I would lose in a fight so bad.
You would?
Yeah, Casey just seems like the kind of guy. He's like so crazy he wouldn't feel a fist.
I always imagine him wiry and non-confrontational.
Yeah, he would. No, but I know. But that's how you know.
Okay, interesting.
That's how you know.
He is. I know. I think he goes for a lot of runs, so I imagine he's somewhat athletic, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, he would have me in the
in shape.
Yeah, my conditioning is lacking.
Yes. Yeah.
Cakehorn at Cakehorn.
Oh,
speaking of, when are you going to tell me you love me?
I love you, buddy.
Principled uncertainty. Mike, what question should I ask?
Seems like you were off on the vibe of the YouTube questions.
I guess so. Mike Hawk. Mike, what would you say if I asked you a hypothetical question?
This is some real wiseacres here on YouTube.
So Haiti. Did you ever get super hearing or any other super sense when you went there?
Yeah. I'll tell you, I was thinking about this week because I was at a wedding and like anytime there's like loud music or anything.
Yeah.
I think my hearing is actually worse in those conditions.
It's so heightened.
But because I don't know about that, but I have no visual cues. Like, I don't think you realize how much the visual aspect of communication helps when you're in those situations, because you can look at it, you can tell if someone's looking at you, you can kind of read their lips a little bit. Like that helps when music's fucking blasting in your ear. When I'm in, that's why I've always hated like bars and clubs and things like that. I'm like, I can't see or hear anything. This is a fucking nightmare.
Nick Tuck. Mike, who has the worst breath on KMS? My guess is Mutt.
I've never noticed anyone with bad breath. Questions like that come in all the time. I've never noticed anyone with
they do
with bad breath. Yeah, people are always like when me and Justin are on road trips, they're like, "Oh, does Justin stink or does Mike stink or whatever?" And I'm like, I don't really notice that.
Skullcracker 187. How blind are you? Just answered. Are you bald? And
yes, I'm horseshoe bald.
Did you always talk like a weirdo?
Always talk like a weirdo. In like 7th grade, I remember people saying that I talked like a game show host.
Yes.
Which I never really knew what that meant when I was a kid. It was not until I was an adult that I realized, like, oh, they're talking about my cadence. I get it now. I understand why they're saying that. But no, I've done shows without a hat, few and far between. But there are pictures of me online hatless. For whatever reason, I've worn a hat every day, aside from like weddings and funerals. I think because my dad wore a hat every day. I just do it like since middle school. I just have. I don't know why.
If you're a Patreon member, the profile picture is Mike Hatless. So
yeah.
Go take a peek.
And take a gander.
Skips to the head of the line. Oh, it's HACKRIDE. $2. Everyone knows Mike's a psychic. Give a prediction.
Stuttering John will engage in sexual relations with Lucy Tightbox by Thanksgiving.
Wow.
It's big stuff.
Be
great if I willed that into existence just now.
That would be funny. At the Pepperjack, Downfall of Bonfire, where is it your review? What?
I don't know. I don't know if I would call it a downfall. I think Soder just left. And you know what I mean? Like, I think Jay and Soder had a very unique chemistry that made that show great. And Bobby and Jay, it's a different show now. So, like, if you don't like Bob Kelly as much, or you don't like their chemistry as much as you did Dan and Jay's, you're not going to like it as much. I don't think it's really a downfall. To me, it's more interesting to cover something like the downfall of Jimmy Kimmel or Howard Stern or Will Ferrell. We did an episode on to examine like how they changed or didn't change over time, and how that affected perception of them, and how that might be hypocritical in some ways. With the Bonfire, I think it's just Soder got sick of doing the show and they brought in a different guy, and people don't like it as much with that guy. I don't know that it's an interesting subject to cover necessarily.
I like Bob Kelly too.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I don't listen nearly as much without Soder. I used to listen to the podcast version of that show. Although I think they stopped putting out free podcasts, which is always smart of a paywall company to do, is stop giving out any free content.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the three of them would be better than any two combination.
I don't agree with that, because I think Bobby's such a different personality than what they were doing on that show.
Well, if he did like the Jimmy role where he kind of just tagged shit.
Yeah, I just don't think he's as quick as Norton, and I don't think he would fit the vibe as well. I think Jay and Soder were great at kind of doing what we do, oddly. Like making fun of Corey Feldman or reality TV shows or whatever award show was that weekend. Like that's what they were great at, is goofing on that kind of stuff. And I don't know that Bobby necessarily fits that. One thing I always note about the Bonfire, they have one of the best staffs in, I mean, I guess it's radio technically, but podcasting. Like that DJ Lou is so great, not just with drops, but like the sound effects and stuff that he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare to find someone that perfect for a role as a DJ Lou is. And that Jacob Batat is a very funny character that I think is difficult to find in a lot of podcasting. It's rare. That group of comedy podcasts very rarely has a staff like that suits the show so well. So that's another thing they were good at. But yeah, I just think either you do or don't like Bobby as much as Soder. I don't think there's much mystery to the downfall, quote unquote.
Mike, I've always wanted to ask a visually impaired man about audio descriptive pornography for the visually impaired. Is Mike aware it exists? And if so, does the community view it as anything other than a joke?
It doesn't do anything for me. I haven't asked other blind guys about this. I can't speak for the community. To me, it does seem like a joke where it's like, well, this is too cartoonish. Who could jerk off to this? You know what I mean? Like, have you ever heard like O&A break down that like audio porn?
No.
Where it's like this over the top description of like a woman coming or something. Like I said, there is an element of audio that I need. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that I need the sort of the setup. I need a plot line, but no, that like cartoonish thing that they supposedly do for the blind, not for me. I don't know any members of my community that get off to it either.
Electric Buddha, I'd like to hear your recap of the Mersh Carl drama.
We did.
I don't follow the drama that closely, but it's interesting, and I did not see one clip of Mersh watching you quietly confused as to why Carl was so mad.
Oh no, I did see Mersh watch a clip of me, and it seemed like, although this is one thing, like I saw comments and I saw Mersh kind of say this, like they were like, "Oh, Mike doesn't even want to say anything to Carl." It's like, nah, I kind of said what I had to say. I didn't think it was that big a deal. I wasn't going to go on there and be like, "Hey, you fucking apologize to Mersh." You know what I mean? I wasn't that extreme about it either. So I think I did kind of say what I had to say, where I was like, "No, you called him a loser. I don't get what you were a dick to him," and Mersh reacted, I thought, appropriately, and that's all I really thought about it. I didn't think it would be something that inspired a week of talk, but I do think Carl and Adam's reaction to it caused that a little bit. So.
Mike, you've managed to go from being a fan of comedy and radio to being a small part of Barstool and now having your own show that you do. I just want to know, where do you get your ideas from?
I wish I could do a good Bob Einstein impression. You can ask me that.
That's pretty good. Why are you laughing? Suggestion, Jim Varney.
I just don't know. I know the Ernest movies, but not well. I'd have to look into seeing if he's worth it. But a good suggestion.
When do you think Joe Matarese will have another good content run? I want to see more on Hinge stream. I miss him.
God, I hope so.
I miss him.
I do hope, and you got to believe if you follow Joe Matarese's career. And here's where I disagree with what Royce was saying earlier, and I think it's just a difference in personalities. Like Royce says, like, oh, we talk about these guys for a time and then we get sick of them and move on. Sometimes for me, and you'll see, we'll take a break from talking about some people from time to time. But for me, it's the depth of the well that is always fascinating to me. And Matarese is one of those guys, like the fact that he's still trying stuff 10 years after Red Bar was covering him, to me, that makes him more fascinating, not less.
Mm.
If you follow Joe enough, you got to believe that there's no end to the point where he's going to be like, you know what? I guess I don't have it. I'm not able to podcast. You got to believe that at some point he's going to be like, I figured it out. What if I do? Now, hear me out here. I'm going to do a podcast about my mental health and being Italian. And I'll just be like, yes, come on, Joe. Give it to me.
I need it. Colostomy Stephen Cunt, $10. Hi, Blind Mike. Hello, Ironhead.
Hello, Colostomy Stephen Cunt.
Where did I leave off?
I don't
Hi,
know.
Mike. Just wondering who your least favorite comedian is at the moment.
I mean, Dat Fan, I guess, because we have personal beef. I don't have a least favorite.
If you don't say Bill Burr, the chat's going to turn on you.
Oh, it's Bill Burr, guy. Fuck that lib. Hold on.
Him taking all his blood money.
Hold on. Hey, fuck Bill Burr. Oh, come on. Settle down, gang. No. Hey, I'm not doing it for that. I'm a man of the people. It's just it's in me, you know.
Hey, Michael, Bobby here.
Hello, Bobby.
What is your favorite Tuesdays with Stories episode?
I don't know that I have a favorite episode of that show. Those guys, I say this about Joe List all the time. I've never related to a guy's perspective more than I do with Joe List. Like, even the more serious stuff, like his movie 4th of July that he made with Louis, I think that is the best representation. I've never felt more seen, as they say, than that movie. Like, that is such a perfect representation of my relationship with my family and dealing with anxiety and stuff like that. So Joe List, I just relate to. I don't know that there's an episode I could point to and be like, oh, that's one I go back to all the time. Because it's one podcast that I know we're never going to talk about on this show, other than like instances like this. But it's rare we're going to have a clip of Tuesdays with Stories, but I still listen every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
But I can't think of one particular episode. It's more my love of those guys that keeps me listening.
Mike, if you could make passionate love to... Oh, I'm supposed to be reading this in a different voice, I think. Judging by the rest of this question, let me...
Okay.
I have a question for Mike.
Okay.
If you could only make passionate love to Craig or Casey Day, which one would it be? Do you know?
Do you know? I think probably Casey. He says such nice things about me, you know?
Oh, he'd be a lot sweeter, I think.
Although it'd almost be uncomfortable. Like he'd be he'd be faking it. I'd be like, I know I'm not that good, you know?
The way you did that was nice. Colostomy Steve Cunt, $5.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to cover Norton's call-in advice interview show?
In what way? We've talked about a couple episodes. We talked about when Bennington was on. We did make fun of
what's it called again?
Jim Norton Can't Save You.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the show with his what? But yeah, Jim Norton Can't Save You is the advice show. I like it. The episodes I've seen.
I've only listened to the one with Anthony on it.
You should listen to the ones with Voss and Colin.
Good.
For the same reason you like the Anthony one, I think you would enjoy those. Yeah, they're great.
Principled Uncertainty, €10. Fucking hell, I finally have a genuine question. Mike, you have a way with words. Do you read/listen to a lot of books, or do you have our Irish bullshitter gene?
I think it's more the latter. Yeah. I've listened to enough people. Like if you look at a lot of the comedians or shows I like that's just where I pick up a lot of these turns of phrase. It's not from a great wealth of literature in my past, certainly.
Mike, why are you gay?
Well, I guess it depends on how you define it. There are many different reasons. It could be my just love of cock or just my personality. It depends on your perspective.
I heard there is a John Candy doc coming out. Any comment on the man?
I'll be curious to see the documentary because I think there's a lot of fascination around John Candy, and I'm not really sure why.
He was like a big before our time guy. He was like the people before us is Chris Farley.
But people lump him in with Farley and Belushi as far as like a mysterious figure, and I'll be curious to see if there's any of that to him. Like if there's anything interesting about his personal life, because I don't know anything about him other than the movies he's in, obviously. So yeah, I'll be curious to see that.
If Portnoy offered Craig $77,500 to go to Barstool to spite you, how would you react?
If Portnoy offered him to spite, I thought you meant if Craig did it to spite me. I'd be like, I'd be a little off-put by it, I guess. No, if Portnoy offered Craig $77,000, I would be like Kirk if Craig turned it down. I'd be like, what are you doing? You fucking idiot. What are you, nuts?
Stop it.
No, that would be, That's the thing is like I have no ill will towards Barstool. Portnoy thinks I do for some reason.
You're taking them down one day.
And I'm still working on that plan, by the way. Don't think I've given up on that.
Don't you think that Penn?
That's the problem is I'm still trying to take down Penn National. I didn't realize they sold it.
I know. Have you ever seen the Craig Gass, Gene Simmons storyline from Stern? It's one of my favorites. Craig does a great stand-up bit about it. Thought it'd be a good topic for Why You Laughing.
That sounds very familiar. Did Craig Gass have like a bad run-in with Gene Simmons? I can't. That sounds familiar. I'll have to give it a. Maybe I'll give it a give it a search and see because it sounds familiar, but I don't really remember it.
Yeah, I don't either. Why is Carl so gay?
I think we answered that with Royce earlier.
A myriad of reasons. And lastly, for YouTube, who's your favorite third chair on KMS and who's your least liked?
I was thinking this the other day. I think if not that they ever would, but if they asked me who should be in there every day, and I can't choose myself, obviously, and say like travel doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how far they're coming from, whatever. Montante is perfect.
Yeah.
Because he'll say things, he'll bring up topics that Kirk is interested in, but he's also a great punching bag. He doesn't get offended. I think Montante would be the guy if he lived closer.
He doesn't get offended unless it's on Twitter.
But even that you can make fun of him for, you know.
Yeah.
And he's willing to do things like the golf tournament, and he's weird. Like he gets dug in on that $1,000. He has weird little things he gets hung up on, which I think are perfect for the show. So I would go Montante as number one. Although it's hard to argue against Mutt. But I think it would still go Montante. I think Montante would be now maybe that's because you hear him on the show less than Mutt. So you have a romanticizing of what that would be. But I think I would go Montante number one. Least favorite.
I'm gonna put a caveat on the least liked, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Has to be multiple time in the studio.
Oh yeah, because that would be easy to say.
Yellow shirt guy.
Yeah, something like that. Least liked. Boy, there's no one that I really dislike that goes like, because even like Mayo and
you're about to get some Saudi money.
Say that again.
You keep this up, you're gonna get some Saudi money.
Like Mayo is the most annoying for sure.
But he's very funny.
But it's funny that he's annoying. Yeah. Like I'm not like these other people that are like, oh, so and so is in, can't listen to this episode. You know what I mean? Like it's Kirk show. Like I look at it this way. If I was a fan, I am, but like if I was just a guy that was never in on the show, and just listening, there aren't days I would skip because some third chair was on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have anyone like that. Like Steve from Gloucester, very nice guy, but can be kind of annoying. I guess I don't love that, like what Steve did when he would first start going in.
See, but the thing is, Steve is the reason. Like the hardest I ever laughed at the show was when Kirk was talking about Gus after he dies, haunting Steve. Or Steve haunting Gus after he dies, and he said Gus is just going to be in his living room one day, and he's just going to hear Gus. I thought that's
the hardest you've ever laughed.
It's the way he did the impression, and the timing was just perfect, and it killed me. I don't know.
It made me sad, but also like happy that that the moment was had. But I saw Cinema's girlfriend tweet out a clip from a past 9/11 episode. Remember, I didn't know. I had no memory of. I didn't even remember that like I was in that day. But when Mama Kay said she had a premonition about 9/11.
Oh my God!
When we played the audio that Cinema was in, and he was howling like Kirk like hid under his desk. And Cinema was howling at it, and his laugh was so like infectious. And I was like, oh, like it sucks, obviously, that he's gone. I mean, that goes without saying. But like, it was kind of cool to see he had that moment because he loves that show so much. So being in for a moment like that was cool to see that clip because I forgot how funny that was.
So roundabout way saying cinema is your least favorite? That's harsh.
No, obviously that wasn't what I was saying.
Wow,
Fred.
I can't believe you said that.
No, that clearly wasn't what I was saying.
Oh, it's Mama K you were talking about.
I like Mama K, but
That 9/11 story was wild.
I like things like that. If you're willing to do stuff like that, I have no problem with you being on the show. That's funny.
All right, guys, we won't get an answer on that one.
I don't have a good one because there's no one where I'm like, I fucking hate when this guy's in. I'm trying to think.
I don't think it.
And taking out people that are one-offs.
It eliminates that.
Yeah.
Because it's
I'll tell you what I hated that I haven't had a chance to talk about was when that guy called in when Scott Doncaster was on.
Mm-hmm.
That guy that called in to like out him as having that moment, I was like, well, that's pretty shitty.
Oh,
like, why do people need to do that shit? Like,
did you look into that?
Yeah, yes, but it's not my fucking business. I don't know.
That's beyond a little bit of a wild story, though.
It is a wild story, but he's a nutty guy. I don't know. That's his business to deal with.
That's true.
It's certainly not some caller's job to
I think
moralize that.
He's probably more or less being like, "Hey guys, in the studio with this guy, should be on your P's and Q's."
Yeah, I don't know. When people have no idea what happened and they white knight in that way, it bugs me.
I'm guessing he had that article that was shared about it.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
That was the end of YouTube.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's done. Just as an entity.
YouTube's gone. They quit.
That was the end of YouTube. We did it.
The end of YouTube.
Should we go to Twitter now? Do we have what time is it? This is a fun break from the we get into topics we don't usually discuss. It's nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to my phone so I can.
And then we'll get back into. I think next week we'll get back into normal. We haven't done we didn't do any Dabbleverse topics last week. I guess we did do it this week, but next week we'll get back into our normal. I'll try and do Steel Toe Opie. Maybe even Stuttering John. Who knows?
Well, has he been like back? Has he stayed?
Oh yeah, every day he does a boring show, and he started talking about Lady K and the shitware now. So that code broke pretty quickly.
He's fully back.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Recent.
Craig seems so enthused.
Well, I can't do the ordering of them on my laptop for some reason.
Hey, take it easy.
Will you?
Don't scream at me.
Eric, I wasn't. Eric LJ. Will you do a Why Are You Laughing episode on Trevor Moore?
I don't know a ton about him. That's another one you'll have to tell me. Is he? I know he's dead, right? That's the guy that died.
Which one?
From Whitest Kid You Know, I think.
Oh,
do I have the right guy or am I wrong?
That's the Canadian guys, right?
Yeah.
Or is that Kids in the Hall I'm thinking of?
Well, Kids in the Hall are Canadian also, but these guys might be as well. I don't know. When you said it, it sounded right.
I don't know much on them. I'll have to look into it. As
will I. Yeah. Let me know if you want an episode done about someone like that. Let me know some juicy details that might get me interested.
Is Justin right that you lick your toilet paper to know when to stop wiping?
He's not. To be fair, I don't let Justin in on those moments. So I think that would all be hypothesis on his part, but no.
Have you pursued a private equity investment for blindmike.net after seeing the Mudstack valuation? Are you going straight to it?
I talked about this earlier. It's in the works. I'm offering my services to ESPN now because I know they're trying to take old Barstool people,
Yeah, we got Mincy as an in over there.
I'll hire Mincy.
He'll help.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Why? How do you not, if you're Mincy, how do you not ask? I take the wake up Barstool thing even out of it. How do you not ask someone, hey, we've for a long time had problems with ESPN.
Right.
Like we've had deals fall through with that. There's been all kinds of shit with ESPN. Am I allowed to go on tomorrow at 9 a.m.? You know what I mean? Like, how does he not ask anyone that?
I have no idea.
That's crazy.
No.
Yeah, that's one where I understand Portnoy's anger, I think.
Don't you think much should have negotiated for the Muttstack IP harder? Feels like Portnoy ripped him off.
I was stunned that came up. Very funny that Portnoy said he wanted that. And the idea that Mutt was like, and I saw Gaz tweet, like people were screaming at their phones. I was in a hotel room hitting a pillow. I was fucking punching my pillow because I was like, Mutt, stop arguing over the rights to Muttstack. You can write it on Barstool. Just write a blog every week.
So dumb.
By the way, I couldn't. Did you see? Is he continuing to do that going forward, Muttstack, or like, in what way?
He should just name a Friday blog Muttstack.
I agree. I think that's what he should do, but I'm curious what he will do.
Did you see Portnoy's profile on Twitter?
Owner of Muttstack?
Yeah, it's very funny.
Yes. Yeah.
This is an insensitive question. Could you have made that shot?
I almost said what shot? How quickly we've forgotten. Maybe if you point me in the right direction, but no, I don't think so.
Any Who Are These Socials this week?
There should be, yes. Unless Carl is too furious with my my conversation with Royce earlier, but I would imagine so, yeah.
Just an overall pool update, please.
Pool's coming along. It's being worked on right now. They said it'll take about 3 weeks, and so far we are just past week 3 of that process.
3 more.
So I don't know. We've got like the whatever you call it, concrete has been poured or whatever. So we're coming along a little bit.
Is it going to be heated?
Yeah.
All right, so you can still use it this year.
I don't want to though. The skirt is like, oh, we gotta use it at least once, and I'm like, what's the point?
Is there a hot tub connected?
No. But I think they do say it's smarter to have water in it before the winter.
Yeah, because then it won't crack the.
Yeah, so maybe it's worth it to use for a week and then cover it. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's heated, you can use it year round.
Yeah, that won't be $5,000 a month.
No. Do you think Mutt should give you the $50 that Portnoy owes you?
That's not much job. And nor do I think I would yield my quest to be paid that $50. That's very funny. I like when I see those tweets now, because sometimes it'll be random. Like Portnoy will tweet something, like complain about something, and someone will just go, "When are you going to pay Mike his $50?"
This is a question from someone called Uncle Dash.
Okay.
Definitely don't know who this is coming from.
Okay.
Definitely not Mersh. Are you good? This is not actually Mersh. Are you glad you were not cool enough to go to the abortion that was the Chrissy M content?
Well, what's weird about that whole thing is like Carl and Adam did this segment where they're like, yeah, it kind of sucked as an event, but we're still mad at Mersh for saying it sucked. I didn't really understand it, but that's for those boys to fight out. I've said my piece.
Colostomy Stephen Cunt again.
He made it to Twitter.
No, I'm doing super chats.
Oh, okay. All right.
Priority here.
Gotcha.
Are you going to put a Velociraptor sculpture in your yard to complement the pool?
That would be fun. I'll start having
fun.
parties with listeners. Bobo will be in the pool. That could be fun.
Interview Dice right next to it. Shit, what did I hit?
Me and Stuttering John will watch Columbo in my theater.
That's right. Hold on. I accidentally closed out. 1 second.
Oh, Craig.
I know. I'm such a stupid idiot.
You're a silly goose is what you are.
I am. I have like no service in here.
Well, we got all day. We'll wait for you, buddy. Hey, guys, we'll all sit here and wait until Craig is ready.
Which version of Muttstack do you prefer? Pre-sale to Portnoy or now?
He's sold out. He's a fucking phony. Typical corporate fraud. The second money starts coming and he changes everything. I bet it's going to be 4 items now, that Muttstack.
Has the skirt ever gifted you a Lego or the Wicked soundtrack on vinyl?
It was like me? No. No, that it's not at the top of my my wish list. But I will say I'll defend my pal Justin. Like people make fun of like the idea that he gets like Legos or whatever. Like the idea, if I get vinyl comedy albums, is that any less ridiculous or more ridiculous? You know what I mean? Like everyone has their nerd thing.
I collect records. I listen to them though, but I have them.
And one day they'll be hanging right here. Whenever I get, whenever I'm not so afraid to move this desk.
I'll have to come back and help you do it.
Yeah.
I do want to go.
I think about it every time I pull into this desk now. I should have had this further from the wall when you were over here.
Yeah.
I'm way too close to this wall.
Anonymous. Oh, this will be good. Can you please go back on Kirk's show once a week? He'll never admit it, but the show needs you.
All right. I think it's been more than fine the last couple of weeks, and I'll be on Thursday.
Would you sell Blind Mike Project for $77K?
It has to be more than Mutt sold it for. That's non-negotiable.
It'd have to be $500,000, I think.
Definitely, yes.
Do you feel the Austin comedy boom will bust in the near future, or will it continue to grow unabated? Do you feel that an Austin comedy style will emerge out of it? He's a Boston comic. No and no.
I think that the Austin comedy scene, I think the greatest thing Austin will achieve as a scene is you now don't have to be in New York or LA. Like, I think you'll see people moving to Nashville to have a real start in comedy. I think maybe you'll see other environments in other smaller markets start to pop up like that. I think that's the good thing that Nashville did. I don't think it's their fault that people like Mark Maron have labeled them as like, you have to be transphobic to move to Austin. But literally, DeRosa hooked up with a trans person and then moved to Austin the following year, you know? Like, I don't know where
it's a lot safer than hooking up with a trans person and then taking out someone you don't agree with.
What?
It's a lot better hooking up with a trans person and moving rather than hooking up with a trans person and then shooting someone you don't agree with.
You really shoehorned that into this
conversation. I wasn't shoehorned.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I don't know how we got there.
I'm saying worse things can happen.
Yeah, sure. Yes. No, but my point is, like, DeRosa's obviously not transphobic. That's all I was saying. But like, people paint it that way. So I don't know what that's going to make of it in 5 years. But I think that's the good thing is, like, you don't have to live in New York or LA now to be successful in comedy, which I think makes sense when you have people rising because of podcasting and social media. I don't think it's necessary for your body to physically be in Los Angeles for you to have a comedy career anymore.
Colostomy Steve Cunt letting me know how that went. Home run, Ironhead.
It was just so out of place.
Well, the worst thing is when you have to repeat it. No matter what I said.
I've been
HACKRIDE Studios, $2. Mike says he's a music guy now. Top 5 bands, artists.
Jesse Wells might be in there, although he's a newer guy that I've gotten into. I like Zach Bryan, Tyler Childers.
Zach Bryan, what a bad boy.
That's right. Hey, I don't mind if you verbally abuse a woman, you know?
He almost got hung up on fucking barbed wire fence yesterday, being a little bitch.
What happened? I don't know this.
He went after some other country artist yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to him, he climbed over a barbed wire fence. And it turns out it was all because the other guy said, you know, Zach Bryan, you should make time for a 14-year-old when they're asking for your photo. I don't know that I love Zach Bryan, the guy. I don't know that he'd be my favorite guy. I like that Shane opened for him at Notre Dame. Yeah,
or co-headlined with him, I should say.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I love Zach Bryan, the guy, but he makes some lovely music. Seeger and Bruce are my two favorite older guys for sure. But yeah, I like Noah Khan, Zach. Coulter Wall is a guy right now. Like my two favorites that I've gotten into. Coulter Wall has an amazing voice. It's wild. Listen to that. Don't look up who Coulter Wall is if you don't know him. Tell me how old you think he is and what year his songs are from. It's a wild voice that he has. So I love Coulter Wall and Jesse Wells. Those are my two guys right now that I'm really invested in. But yeah, Tyler Childers, Noah Khan, Zach Bryan, Seeger, Bruce. Oh, and you know what I've gotten really into? Rob Schneider's daughter, Elle King. I like her a lot. She's got a great voice.
Really?
She is part of the most cringeworthy, maybe moment in human history. I was going to say moment in comedy. Do you remember that? Did we ever watch Rob Schneider's special together?
I don't remember.
We should, if we have, we should go back and revisit it. So it's a regular stand-up special that Rob Schneider does on Netflix, probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Now I'd like to take a moment to sing a duet with my daughter."
We played this part.
Elle King comes out, and you think, well, Elle King's got a lovely voice. Maybe she's going to sing to her dad, which would be pretty cringy in itself on a comedy special.
Almost.
So you're like, all right, at least she's talented. He sings to her in like earnestness. He sings her a song, and he does it like his voice is like goofy enough that you're like, I think he's going to do like Deuce Bigalow eventually or something, but he doesn't. He doesn't break. He sings her a song, and then you find out a couple years later, Elle King's like, yeah, he was a horrible father. I've tried to like mend fences with him, but he was a shitbag.
Just because he votes differently.
But yeah, she's got a nice voice as well.
I think that's. Wait, no, one more super chat.
Okay.
Mike, will you ever move over to Super Tips? That's from Hoopla.
Maybe. I'm not a big fan of the voice. I think Patrick has said I don't have to do the voices if I don't want to. My thing with the voices is like, on a day like this, it wouldn't matter. But on a regular show, I don't want a big part of the show that people look forward to be the comment section. Like, that's not my goal with the show. There's plenty of other places they can do that. I don't want it to be like, oh, like let's get through this segment and hear what, AI Stuttering John has to say. Like, I'm not interested in that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if it's, I haven't really looked into it. I'm not that motivated to make the show more about the chat aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think if we were way bigger on Super Chat, I think we'd probably stop reading a lot of them. Like, we wouldn't read all of them if I was getting a ton of Super Chats. The reason we read them now is because we don't get that many, so that's more or less my answer for now. Maybe someday that'll change.
Rape. That almost got me.
Oh, he's a staple. You don't know Raper Butt by now?
No, I wasn't thinking. I was, $2. Do you think the Dabbleverse will still exist in 3 years?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we'll be talking about Stuttering John in 3 years. I don't know if he'll be alive in 3 years. But yes, will people like me or Carl or Tukey or whoever be podcasting in 3 years? I would imagine so, yeah.
Be Smiley, $2. You can disable the voices on Super Tips.
Yeah. That maybe that would be worth it. Here's the other thing is, like, I don't control that aspect of the show. So I don't love the idea. Like, it seems unfair for me to give Craig and Casey another thing to do back there when I'm also asking them to participate in the show. You know what I mean? It's easier for like hosts like Patrick, who's running everything himself. I can't do that, unfortunately. So that's the other thing that gets in the way of that.
Colostomy Steve Cunt, $2. Any specialized blind person technology in the pool?
In the pool? Not. If that exists, please let me know. I'm not aware of it.
All right, back to Twitter.
A lot of questions. Jesus.
I know.
What time is it? Wrap up soon.
12:40.
Yeah. A few more. Find a few good ones.
I'm gonna read through them now. Was moving to Western Mass worth it?
Worth what?
That's all it says.
Worth having a home? Yeah. So far, so good. We'll see. But yes, yeah. Everything's. I've been very pleased with how everything has gone. Like I said, I'm going to KMS this week. So that seems to all still be intact. The setup has been good here. There have been no issues there. So everything's run pretty smoothly. And I'm liking the house. I'm liking being a landowner. Go out and water my grass. Feel like a real man, you know?
This is a very important question. Mike, when was the last time you thanked OJ?
Well, it has been too long. Thank you, OJ. I heard OJ was staying in some brothel or something in Detroit this week. He went to Carl's live show and he's staying with like a bunch of prostitutes. I thought I heard Carl say. So
is that real?
I guess so. He didn't seem like he was joking. So yeah, shout out to OJ.
Will you ever do a podcast on your top movies?
Maybe. I'm not enough of a movie guy. I'll do them on like Superbad. Like I'll do a Why You Laughing on like Superbad eventually, and like Walk Hard and shit like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know that you need my take on like Pulp Fiction, you know?
Right.
So probably not. But maybe in the right context, I would do something like that. I did talk. I went on some guy's podcast. They're not releasing them yet, so I don't know if he just had me on to hang out or what. But I went on some guy. He does a movie podcast, and I went on recently, and I did enjoy talking movies with him, like with a guy that knows movies more than I do. So it would have to be a context like that. I would be down to do something like that, but not on my own show. I don't think.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
It's a movie reference.
There we go.
We're doing it, Craig. We are Craig proving he knows movies.
That's no, that was a question. That was the next question.
Oh, I thought you were like, see, here's a movie thing.
No, I just gotta get Leslie Nielsen comments whenever I can.
Okay, thank you.
How do you know? How do you know when to stop wiping? Classic. Are you okay with Portnoy owning all of the stacks on a going forward basis?
Oh, he's owning all stacks?
Yeah.
He's not stopping a mutt stack?
No, he owns all stacks.
This guy, that's what happens when you have that much money. It's never enough, you know?
What's your October looking like?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. Let me refresh real quick. We only have 2 left, I think.
I hope Justin asks me that when he's planning the schedule for next month.
What's your October look like?
What's October looking like?
Which TV comedy troops was stealing from stand-ups back in the 90s? I used to hear comics talking about it in the early days of podcasting, but they would never mention any names.
I saw this one. I'm not sure I understand the question. So like SNL has always been accused of stealing from stand-ups. Any other show, like any topical shows, like Family Guy gets accused of that a lot too. Where legitimately I've heard that those shows have writers that will show up at, if they're in LA or New York, either the Comedy Cellar or the Laugh Factory or whatever. They'll have writers just blatantly sit like in the front row sometimes, and then people will hear their jokes pop up weeks or months later on SNL or Family Guy. So I hear that about a lot about like topical shows like that. I don't know what this person's talking about a specific comedy troupe being accused of that. I don't know who that would be. So I would need more details, but I'm not sure.
Last Twitter question.
Going out on top, I'm sure. This is going to be the best one we got all day.
Did you LOL like me when Ghost of Cabby in his Dabbleverse overview went, now that's not a picture of Blind Mike, but he's not going to know anyway?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that's a reference to. What was the picture, I wonder? Does anyone in the chat know?
No idea. We got a couple more super chats real quick.
That sounds fun. Let's hear those.
Mr. Perbutt, $2. Love the breakdown of H3H3. More to come.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, that'll be more like when something presents itself. I don't want to force those. I'm not well versed enough in the law to just do any legal case like that. But when something comes up like that, like I was genuinely interested in the Ethan Klein thing. So yeah, when something pops up like that, I'd love to.
And last from HACKRIDE Studios, $2. When do we get a Craig or Mike comedy stand-up sets?
Well, Craig, that exists.
That exists.
We've talked about it. Craig introduced, for anyone new to the program, Craig introduces himself. They say, ladies and gentlemen, it's the creator of the Blind Mike Project.
I think I'll actually be able to find that. I think I know where it is.
Wouldn't that be nice?
The classic.
Someone mentioned something to me. Someone messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm going through old Blind Mike projects." He goes, "I don't know if I've ever laughed harder at the show than the segment you guys did when Maria Taylor left ESPN."
What?
Do you have any memory of that?
No.
Neither do I. He gave me the date so I can look it up if I want to, but he was like,
"Do you know it
off
the top of your head?"
I don't. But he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys breaking down Maria Taylor leaving ESPN was classic." And I was like, that's the first time someone's ever mentioned something that they liked that I've been a part of, that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I've usually got a pretty good memory for that stuff, but I have no memory of the Maria Taylor thing.
Not well. And HACKRIDE, he's put a lot of money into this episode for some fucking reason. So
you can just message us through Craig's StreamYard. What are you doing?
He just wants us to promote HackRideStudios.com. Also, he goes, "I want to change my mind on the plug. Tell everyone to go watch the Dan Lanning 3-minute clip yesterday."
It's good he's spreading the word on that.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning clip. That'd be great. I like the idea that like everyone just saying the same horse shit they usually do, and it's all, this side agrees with this take and vice versa. But if we all watch the Dan Lanning clip, we're all going to go, "Oh my God, he nailed it. He finally nailed it."
Absolutely crushed it.
Yeah, go to HackRideStudios.com, support those guys. Go check out Unboxing Eric and Unboxing all the other Howard Stern characters, and Catch 22 now on Friday nights. They've got all new schedule there that they adjusted for football season. We did not. We're still America's #1 pregame show. But right. Support HackRideStudios.com. Support us, blindmike.net. We appreciate you guys doing that. Verygoodshow.org. What should the people support, Craig?
You can go to verygoodshow.org. I think we still have like ad links there that still help us out. So go buy something.
Go do that. Yeah, go buy something. Go do that. And shout out to Royce. Thanks to Royce Lopez for coming on. Go support Revenge of the Sis on locals, because I don't know what happened there. It seems like they were just doing their show and they got taken down, which as a creator like me is petrifying. As someone that Royce said they have more subscribers on locals than they do on Patreon. I do not. So that's horrifying to me. So Patreon, hopefully, we're good boys, and hopefully you acknowledge that. But thanks to everyone involved with today's program, and whatever. Bye.
And we have a meme transition.
If you don't think that I've been hilarious this morning, I have news. This show is not for you, and we should lovingly part ways.
Yeah. Hey, it's Boogie. Sappers clear the way. Everyone all the way.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon.
I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
there's no cum on my mic.
Rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh?
What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it.
One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story.
Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. All right.
Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Was that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please?
If a person is on a bridge threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing's bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.